Can I roll some? Can I keep it lit? Can I smoke some? Can I be about it quick? Can I stack up? Can I say money talk? I don't flat gums. Can I play it low key? Mask up? Can I keep it on me? Stay strapped up? Can I hit it face down? Ass up? Can I say we head of our time? They can't lap us.
Boom. We are live. Woo! Live. Week 3 wrap up. Bringing it to you live, officially live this time. Officially live. I'm here with, as always, Spencer the Guru, Bogard Scott Free, and the fantasy football hustler. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Love the energy. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
We're firing right out the gate. Week 3 is in the books.
Oh
It's
yeah.
in the books.
Great to be live here, y'all. We're ready to roll. Have my Saints cap on again. We got the dub shook back and had a great fantasy week as well. So I'm excited to dive into it.
You know what's
Oh,
crazy? But the world with Tom Brady in New England, New Orleans doesn't just march in there and do their thing like that. You know what I mean? And it must feel awesome for all the teams that are used to like losing to New England. It doesn't matter who they got. We're beating New England.
Right. Yeah. Well, we don't have Drew anymore either. So it's good to see our post Hall of Fame QB era is off to a better start than theirs.
Yeah, like
There was never a time to take advantage of the Patriots. It is now. Step on the neck. Don't let them up. We don't want to see the Patriots in the playoffs this year. Let's see them have a really bad year for once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, we mean for twice because last year, you know what I mean? Like my Niners went there and beat their Cam Newton led Patriots real easy. It was nice.
I feel like they probably just wrote off last year. Like, man, I mean, their whole defense was out, first year without Tom Brady.
It doesn't matter.
It's like
We beat the Patriots. That's how I will remember it.
Oh yeah. With Belichick, it's not Belichick. We beat the Belichick Patriots. So hey, I'll take that as a big dub. Beat them by double digits at that. So yeah, I'm happy.
I actually have a theory that there's several clones of Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? There's like, you know what I mean? And yeah, he died a long time ago, but they keep transferring his soul essence into these carcasses that are shaped and they look like Bill Belichick because he is the Dark Lord of the Sith.
They all wear the exact same pants too. I've seen them.
Oh yeah, the same pants, same hoodie. It's football.
And the dog, he actually pulls a lot of strings.
Oh yeah.
No one knows about this, but the dog.
The dog's the brains behind the whole operation.
Yes.
Little do we know.
The whole time. You heard the dog is several hundreds of years old. And their dog years are 7 to every one human. So this dog is like thousands of years old. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's seen it all. He's seen it all. He's seen back to the days of the gladiator days at the Romans and all that. He's seen it all.
Guess what? He was right there next to the Emperor of Rome, telling that motherfucker what to do. Man.
Okay, pulling the string. Pulling the string.
It was the first Patriots. You know what I mean? They were cheating. They were giving the gladiators like wooden swords that are painted metallic. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All empires rise and fall, but the dog is the one constant. The dog remains. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doggy style. Make mine doggy style. You know what I'm saying? Make my fries doggy style.
Wait, I thought it was animal style. No, doggy style.
It's funny because no one's gonna get that, and it just sounds weird for me to say make mine doggy style.
It's a callback to like a joke that was told off air and shit.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Let's start off. I go in the most random order. You guys know that. So let's start
I know,
off
right? You never know what game's going to pop up. I learned that from the past couple of weeks. The freaking Monday night game might pop up first.
Bro, when I would come on this show, I would tell him, don't even tell me the show sheet. Just hit me on the spot.
Yeah. It's like
Oh,
what
yeah.
we did.
I like it.
Let's start off with Carolina beats Houston 24-9.
And then he starts off with the first game.
Hey, man. Hey.
Throwing a curveball at you.
Yeah.
That was the curve after the curve. You know what I mean?
Let's start here.
Man.
Is Sam Darnold like the truth, or what's the deal?
We have to address him as the name that he deserves. He is Darnold Schwarzenegger. He's the Terminator himself. He's undefeated. The last time the team, the team was undefeated the last time when they had the MVP Cam Newton. So this is like, that was 2015. There's been a drought for a long time over there. So to say that Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator himself, has actually got them in good position. It doesn't matter if they played the Jets and the Saints trying to get it together and then the Houston Texans. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? They're still undefeated, even though it does matter, right? But they got the Cowboys coming up. It's going to be a real test. You know what I mean? I think Robbie Anderson's absence will be no longer. I think now with no CMC, we're going to see Joe Brady get creative with all his guys, man, because there's a ton of weapons over there for Sam Darnold to deal. The only problem is he only looks at one guy.
Yeah, DJ Moore. Yeah,
I'll let you guys handle the offense, but that defense, oh man, it's been balling. That's the reason why they're 3-0. They had some pieces. We already knew they had some pieces. Hassan Reddick coming over though makes crazy difference. And then you got Shaq Thompson still, Dante Jackson, their star corner, Joe Horn. I mean, he did go out, but they're making a trade for TJ Henderson. I call him TJ Henderson because he's the smart guy.
For the smart guy.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if these I guess you could call them. You can't call these guys millennials. You guys were born in the 90s, right?
Right.
Yeah.
98.
So when you guys were born, there was a show called The Smart Guy, and there was another show called Sister Sister. It had these twin chicks, Tia and Tamara. They in real life they had a little brother, so he started his own show, and his name was TJ Henderson, and he was like a kid genius. So he was like in high school as a kid. You know what I mean?
TJ's a smart guy.
It's a classic show.
And so they got TJ Henderson now, and then they still got Jeremy Chin. So yeah, the offense is balling, but the defense taking a step up. And I think adding a guy like Hassan Reddick to like pair up on the opposite side of Brian Burns, making all the difference in the world.
Bro, all I could think of is that video that's like viral with that guy. Like I'm just picturing Hassan Reddick, dog. You seen that video? That guy that like lists his whole team. He's a high school football team. Dog.
Yeah.
Dog. He's a dog.
It's funny because in the Bay, we say he's a boy. And it's so funny because, I would say that shit on different shows and they'd be like, they take it literal. They'd be like, yeah, he is a boy. like a man, like a male gender. Like, yeah. But
down here at the high school, either a big dog, a young bull. It's a young bull. That's one young bull. Yeah, young bull. Yep.
That's tight. That that's in the South now because you know where that that derives from, right? That derives from Philly.
Oh, in Philly. Okay.
Yeah, young bull. That's how all the youngsters talk. Like for the this goes back. This is like 30 years type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and it's tight because we're living in a day and age where hella came from the Bay. Like I used to be in SoCal. You know what I'm saying? And I say hella, they immediately know I'm from the other side. I'm from North. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now everybody says hella. It's social media, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And Davis Mills, he could take a hit. That kid could take a beating. He's got moxie.
They had a neck. He's the next neck quarterback. Whew, man.
Yeah. And Brandon Cooks, he's top 6 right now.
Yeah, man. Brandon Cooks, a new quarterback-proof receiver. We used to give that title to Allen Robinson, but he's off to a dreadful start, man. Brandon Cooks has been the truth, man. Been the truth.
Respect the fuck out of him because he went from Drew Brees to Jared Goff.
No, Tom Brady.
Oh, to Tom Brady to Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it was hit or miss with Jared Goff. But when it was on with Jared Goff. Like it was, obviously McVay, you know what I'm saying, pulling strings, he knows how to scheme his best players, right? And then So newfound respect. I mean, obviously, before I get to that, he went to Watson next. Remember?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Then he had, and it was like, this guy is spoiled. Maybe he went to Watson just to make up for the fact that he was with Jared Goffel, right? Then he gets Tyrod Taylor, and everyone knows that Tyrod Taylor is Usher, or as my man Peacock calls him, Good Luck Chuck. You know what I mean? Because Good Luck Chuck is a movie where, the side note, in the movie, the dude, he has this wicked charm about him that when he sleeps with a woman, the next man she meets is the one for her. Yeah, right. So it's like they bring in Tyrod Taylor, and then you have your guy next. You know what I mean? Like, he was there in Buffalo. They brought in Nathan Peterman, but I know you like that, right? You
Dog.
love
Peterman.
Dog. Nate P.
Fucking love Nate P, dude.
That's
Gruden's boy. Man.
Maybe that one definitely didn't work out. But then he was there in Cleveland. He ushered in, or Good Luck chucked in Baker. Then is he doing it for Davis Mills now? You know what I mean?
Davis Mills is trash. Like, I don't know if you guys have actually watched him play or not, but he sucks.
Yeah, I don't think he's the answer. And I guess
hit the dump truck.
Here we go.
Drop one time. Hit the yeah. Back up the dump truck.
Yeah, I guess the worst thing that came out of this game, it was a CMC, man. I was like, come on, man. I was like, we finally gonna see a healthy CMC, and then boom, pops a hamstring. It's like, man, freaking Thursday night football strikes again with the injuries, man. That pissed me off.
You know what's so funny?
How much? I want to know how much money do they make off of having Thursday night football? Because a lot of players go down to injury on Thursday night, and I know it could easily happen on Sunday. But the extra days of no practice, I mean, it's always messing up some people. I feel like more injuries happen on Thursday than Sunday.
And
yeah, didn't he get? I think he got hurt on a Thursday last year against Tampa Bay, if I'm remembering right.
No, that was
week 2. I don't think it was.
Oh, okay. It was definitely a Sunday.
I got you. I was saying it just
Sunday, as they say in the South.
That was like Sunday, Bloody Sunday, because that was the day when like CMC went down, Barkley went down, but it was I think it was the most injuries they ever said in one weekend of football.
Raheem Mostert,
2020, with the off season.
Remember Raheem Mostert? All the Niners went down that week.
Yeah, that was brutal, man.
Week?
Yeah.
Oh no,
because they didn't have preseason.
I bet you thought that after week 2, when literally like the entire team went down, that was the worst. That
was week 2. Then when all my Niners died that last year, bro. And now I thought we were gonna rise. I thought we were gonna rise like a phoenix out of the ashes, but we're still like looking like a pigeon. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, y'all and the Ravens, y'all. That's where running backs go to die.
I mean, you know what, bro? I heard we were looking at who was it? You were saying earlier. Someone said in the comments earlier. Yeah, Marlon Mack. Someone suggested like the Niners trade for Marlon Mack, and I was like, well, he already fits the description of a Niner running back because he's coming off major injury. You know what I mean? I'm like, bring him over. Injury. The more injury prone, the better. Let's just play this game.
I bet you Marlon Mack, Kerryon Johnson. We talked about that earlier. They're gonna have a weird cast of running backs over there.
Yeah,
super weird.
Hopefully Elijah Mitchell can come back because that would boost them for sure. And so y'all, I mean, one more thing about Carolina, y'all feeling Chuba Hubbard, or you think he's getting overhyped? Because everyone's saying, gotta pick up Chuba Hubbard. Like everyone's running to the wire for him.
Oh, you definitely got to pick him up, but
you got to pick him up.
I think everyone wants him to be Mike Davis of last year, and I don't think that's going to be the case because they're gonna split with him and Royce to 5'9" Freeman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like everyone's like, well, if they have fab money left, I'm gonna blow all my fab money on Hubbard, but I don't know if that's a smart idea. Like everyone blew all their money on Mitchell, and look how that's turned out. I think Hubbard might be the same type deal where it's like you look back on it like, oh, I just wasted all my fab.
Unless you could do a Bogart move and pick him up and trade him for a king's ransom to the CMC, manager. That is. Definitely still try to pick him up because you could probably, if you block the CMC manager, you could make a deal. And because the CMC manager is probably in a panic right now after last year, they're like, oh, here we go again with CMC. So yeah, you might be able to get like a solid flex at WR2. Yeah,
Smitty was trying to do that to me in the Bald Guys Charity League. He was trying to send me Tony Jones Jr. for Chris Godwin. I was like, come on, man. I was like, I'm not that desperate for a goddamn handcuff. Granted, he was offering Mahomes in the deal, but I was like, I trust Herbert. My quarterback was Herbert. I was like, I trust Herbert, and sure enough, outdid Mahomes in this week. So I was glad I stayed away from that.
So check this out. I have Chuba everywhere, and I only have one share of CMC out of 21 leagues, right? But I have Chuba everywhere. So I'm
you gotta try to make the deals. Yeah,
I'm trying to move him because if he goes out, first of all, I don't know how to diagnose the Cowboys game. Let's get to that next. So let's just segue there. Like that fucking Cowboys game, because is their defense good, or is the Eagles just like a mess? You know what I mean? Because I've seen a couple, this defense, they are feisty though. I mean, they turned over Brady week 1. You know what I mean? They took it to Herbert.
Herbert had his struggles. Yeah.
No, but see, but here's the thing: when you really watch that game against the Chargers, Herbert had he had 2 touchdowns with flags on.
Yeah, the refs screwed him big time.
Yeah, those were stupid flags. Like, I'm not just saying that because I have Herbert everywhere and I'm biased, but at the same time, it was some fuck shit. You know what I mean? But I'm saying though, so is this defense legit? Because if Herbert comes, if Hubbard, Chewbacca Hubbard, as I like to call him, you know what I mean? If this motherfucker Chewy gets in there, bro, and he plays poorly, you have 0 value on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is the time to trade him
right now.
Dallas defense is not the business, though. I think this is a classic divisional game where the teams know each other so well. And I mean, Eagles just played it conservative. We already know they don't really have the best weapons out there. I think things would have been a little bit different. That one touchdown where I don't know who that was. It might have been Devonta Smith, where he literally tripped and then the cornerback just had a free interception to the house. That just swung the momentum so crazy.
Baby Diggs.
Yeah.
That was
Christmas present in September.
But you know what though, too? That game was mad wonky. And I'm not even gonna say they were conservative. The Eagles only ran the ball 3 times for real. I'm serious, with their running backs.
Yeah, to me they didn't run the ball enough.
Yeah, they were going down the field quick. Just when their first possession, they got down into the red zone, 3 plays. Boom, boom, boom. All big chunk plays. One to Goddard, one to Rager or whatever it was. And then they get down in there and he's going for, I think he's going back to Rager. And then he gets picked off in the end zone.
Yeah, they were throwing way too much.
But then it was right there in the end zone, right? And this is the literal first 2 minutes of the game. Because I was like, oh, we're in for some crazy shit. Then it wasn't. It was just a boat race and it was boring. But then I'm saying though, that was when I just be laughing at the Cowboys too, because that's the Niner in me. You know what I mean? They're in such a good position, and then boom, he fumbles it, and they get a touchdown right there.
Yeah, his arm went it's just so funny seeing him fumble there. I was like, yeah, let's go Eagles. I always pull against Dallas, always root against Dallas. Sorry, complicated Kai. I can't get on board with Dallas. I'm sorry.
It's just more fun that way. Dallas, they got enough fans. All right, we need some people on the other side.
America loves Dallas. The earth is my turf.
Yeah, it's basically you either love Dallas or you hate them. So it's if you don't love them, well, you gotta hate them.
You know what's crazy though? I love them in fantasy. Worried a little bit about them too.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about them in fantasy because they're starting to realize that running the ball is the way to win football games a lot of times.
They have 2 running. You know what's crazy is Kellen Moore is actually impressing me because Kellen Moore, he was the backup to Dak. You know what I mean? He was the backup to Romo. He turned OC. It's like Jerry Jones, it's like the inception of his next Jason Garrett type, where a guy that eventually will probably be the head coach after they're done with this McCarthy experience, right? Yeah. They love Kellen Moore. But Kellen Moore, when he was trying to get Dak paid, all they wanted to do was throw the rock, bro. That's all they wanted to do. And
they scaled him back now, and smart. That's smart. You don't want him throwing too much.
We got to look at the shootouts he's finna be in. Who do they got this week?
Yeah, the Darnold Schwarzeneggers this week.
Oh, that's right. They got
that could be more of a defensive game.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm a little leery now, but I think CD Lamb's the one you can trust. I feel like Cooper is going to be very inconsistent. And with Zeke and Pollard, it's like, I mean, I still prefer Zeke. I'm not one of these ones that, Pollard over Zeke, but it's just they're going to Zeke's not going to be top 5, I don't think, with Pollard being such a presence. Yeah.
I got Pollard on the rise. And I have so much Zeke. And I've been trying to move Pollard to every Zeke person where they don't have Pollard. If not, I'm just like, yo, he's on the block. It's like, somebody come get him.
Bogard wheeling and dealing
all day.
He's never gonna have a game again like week 2. Like that's the thing, and nobody really played him. Like you had no reason to.
And I've been trying to move him ever since.
Everyone's gonna be chasing that dragon the whole year because he's never gonna do that again. Like it has to be some fluky stuff for him to do.
You know what's funny? I actually did play him though in a bunch of spots. I had him because like, especially because where I have him, I actually have him in all but one of my 14-team leagues, because that's like a 14-team league play. You know what I mean? That's like a deep league play. Like, yeah, I'm flexing Tony Pasta, and because you don't ever feel any type of good like about it. He got 60 yards for 11 totes, not bad. I mean, I was telling everybody this should be a nice Zeke game because we had so many questions of people like tripping off of Zeke this past couple weeks, and I'm like, listen, man, like they're gonna play the Eagles. And I was like, it might be tough still. Then they lose Brandon Graham. And I'm like, oh, this is the game. I'm like,
yeah, this is a Zeke game. Sure enough.
Brandon Graham, he's one of their best run stoppers. You know what I mean? Boom.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that was true. Yeah, that was true for a lot of guys this week, like DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson. They shook back. I mean, it just goes to show that he don't panic over those first 2 weeks. If he took somebody in the first round, like stick with them. Don't be an idiot and bench them just because they had a slow start in the weeks 1 and 2.
Yeah, like how do you think everybody who sat Gibson felt? I bet that felt real stupid that him having
I was just about to bring that up.
Pick. Like,
in a couple spots though where I did sit Gibson, I sat him for Mike Williams. You know what I mean?
Well, that worked out.
Yeah, because it was like a shallower league. I had to make a decision. You know what I mean? Like shallow as in your roster construction. You know what I mean?
Shallow benches.
Yeah. No, not shallow benches. Like
shallow starting lineup. So not as many in the starting.
I've had a few. Thank you, Spencer.
I got
it's like 2 receivers, 2 flex, 2 running back. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, and I have hella running backs, but I'm like, you know what? This is one of them weeks. And I'm trying, you know what, though? Here's my thing. There's a lot of, one thing I'll tell you about this week, there's a lot of players that we can go and try to buy right now. You know what I mean? Like,
get them for the low.
Yeah, even if not for the low as in what you paid for in your draft. I'm actively trying to take OBJ and a Cordero Patterson. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to go after like like a AJ Brown or, you know what I mean? I'm trying things like that to move up to the next level, right? The next level would be like, okay, you don't like Cordero Patterson. You know what I'm saying? Well, here's, Javonte Williams. You know what I mean? Like, because I'll buy an AJ or even a D-Hop. You know what I mean? Like, people are tripping right now.
Oh, yeah. You got to. Especially with these trades, I mean, I know Bogard's got it down, but for everybody else, I like to ask people, like, if they got a couple studs, who do you like least out of all these players? Because you never know who the answer is going to be, and you got to just go off of people's emotions.
It's kind of tight, too, because, like, when you're interactive with your league, they're basically going to tell you everything you need to know. Like, say a player's doing bad, they start shitting on the player, or they put so-and-so's on the block. Like no one does that when they're joking. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, okay, he really don't like him. I'm about to get him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're telling you already what you need to know. You just gotta pay attention and be interactive with the league. You know what I mean?
I like putting some of my bench players that I don't really like in my starting lineup when I talk trade, just so when they go look at my lineup, they can see that the guys I'm talking about are starters, even though they're really not.
That's a great Jedi mind trick right there.
That's some fuckery right there.
I'm like, bro, you ain't know.
He's like, yo, Nathan Peterman's on the block. Like, Nathan Peterman. You go over to Hustler's team. He's like, he's got Nathan. Is Derek Carr hurt? He's got Peterman starting.
I did a package deal trade with Blake, and the main pieces were like, it was the main 2 pieces for my side where Curtis Samuel and David Montgomery, and I brought back Nick Chubb. But he was like, when he sent me it, he sent me this before the season started too, like way before, like I think it was like in fucking August. But anyway, he sent me Nathan Peterman with it. I'm like, fuck it, this is how I gotta do it, right? I immediately cut Nathan Peterman, but because I didn't want him to curse my team. But he might have left the curse on my team though, because my team's not too hot right now in that league. Shout out to the Invitational.
Yeah, dude, that was funny as hell because I was like, I remember we were texting back and forth. I was like, if you want to do this shit, you got to take Nathan Peterman. Because I drafted him. I draft him every year. I draft him with my very last pick.
Well, you know what? Because speaking of Curtis Samuel, let's get to that Washington game. Like, and we are talking about Gibson, right? Like, I made the conscious decision to sit Gibson over Williams, right? I guess not over Williams. I guess you could say it was more like a Mixon thing because I wanted to play Mixon against the Steelers. I felt like, you know what I mean? People have been lightweight able to run on them. I was wrong about that. But anyways, my point is Gibson needed that. He needed that because they need to use him more in the passing game. If I remember correctly, that was a pass on a second down. You know what I mean?
73-yard touchdown, I believe. That was awesome.
He runs a 4.3. And he's like 6 foot, what, 6 feet, something like that. He runs a 4.3. He's like 230, bro, or 225.
And all that like Christian McCaffrey talk, that was a Christian McCaffrey play right there.
That's what I'm saying, bud.
Yeah, man, he's gonna once he gets pass protection down, that's a wrap. Because I think that's the only thing holding him back right now. It's not that his skills as a receiver; it's just they trust McKissick more in pass protection. But once Gibson gets that down, oh yeah, he's gonna be a top 5 running back.
Here's the thing: it's twofold.
220.
There you go. See, it's twofold though. Not only is McKissick a good pass protector, maybe just better than Gibson, but when do you need a pass protector? Obviously on third downs.
Yeah, third downs.
If this team's when this team gets behind, they need to go hurry up. And that's where where JD also shines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in that Giants game, as they were behind trying to come back, and so it was just check down after check down to McKissick when they were doing the hurry up offense.
And Gibson was still hurt. If everyone doesn't remember that, he got hurt in the first week, and then it was a short week. So why wouldn't it be in the game plan to get McKissick more involved?
They got the Dirty Birds. Yeah. Oh, don't fail me, Gibson. Antonio Banderas. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of them games, bro.
Yeah, it's his chance to shine, man. Yeah, the Dirty Birds are one of those things you circle and be like, oh yeah, this is time for my people to cash in. That's a Danny Dimes, man. He didn't cash in. He didn't even get a touchdown against them bastards. Like, come on, man. That just goes to show you don't trust the Giants, don't trust Danny Dimes. Blake and I have railed about the Giants the past couple of weeks, and I'm sure we'll blast them again when we get to them because they freaking suck.
Let's get it right. His name is Danny Pesos, okay? A dime is a little bit too good for him.
Yeah, that's a good point, Huss. That's a good point. He is just, he is so frustrating, man, because he was like, oh, everyone's running to the wire because he had the big game against Washington, and I'm glad I didn't because he just disappoints every time.
This is what's crazy. Is style points don't matter. But in fantasy, right, that is style points. Like, yeah, I'm about to beat you with Danny Dimes, B. Watch this. Because he is a fantasy quarterback, though. He's going to run around.
Yeah, he does get the running.
Their team's going to get behind. Now they lost Blake Martinez for the season. Teams are going to be able to run on them and own time of possession. So at least Saquon is someone we would consider a matchup, game script proof. Because now they're going to be in a bunch of hurry-up situations because they're losing the time of possession battle because their defense can't get off the field. You know what I mean? So now Danny Dimes might even be more fun in fantasy, bro. He is a bumbling idiot. And I do like
against the Giants.
The Dimes actually qualifies still for him because he does drop dimes, bro, like literal like fumbles. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's dropping the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Here's going to be the most fun with Danny Pesos is when you go against him and you get to make fun of the person who is stupid enough to start him against you, and that's why they lost.
I'm actually in one of my big home leagues. I'm actually playing a guy who has Danny. There's a single QB league, and he's the late round QB truther, and he got Danny Pesos. See, now I had to call him Pesos because now that's right. We got to shit on him actually.
Yeah.
So against the Falcons, he went 24 for 35, 266 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, and 8 attempts, 39 rushing yards, long of 12.
That's against one of the worst defenses in the league right now.
Yeah, he should have done a lot better than that.
Who are they playing this week?
They play my Saints. They get my Saints this week. We
Fire the Saints up. Fire their
Saints
defense
defense,
up.
David. Same thing with Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore. We ready, baby. And we're back in the dome. We'll be back in the dome for that. It'll be our return to the dome.
I'm just going to bring it up from week 1 again because this is so far. I know we're only 3 weeks in, but so far this is my favorite thing that's happened already in the NFL. Is in week 1 when Joe Judge threw that fucking challenge flag on a scoring play, and they lost his timeout for it. Like, what are you doing? What a dumpster fire over there.
Yeah, that's the Giants season in a nutshell. We could tell from the start that it was going to be a shit show.
Like over the weekend, wasn't there a game where somebody threw a flag and hit the ball?
Yeah, the ref, when it was a punt, he like threw it right. It hit the ball and like it ended up being like a muffed punt.
Yeah, because there was a backup. I mean, there was a backfield blocking in the back. You know what I'm talking about? You know when the receiving team.
Yeah. The Arizona game.
Yeah,
he was trying to aim for the player, I guess, and ended up hitting the ball somehow.
That's dude.
That. You know what's crazy? That's not as good as the bird getting blown up in that baseball game.
Oh, Randy Johnson.
Yeah, Randy Johnson.
I played at that field in college. We used to. That's where we traveled. So like we would go to Arizona for our spring training like tournament, and I've played at that field. I pitched on that mound actually, that same mound.
Did you hit a bird?
I did not. I got fucking shelled. I got
bird hit you.
Epic. But yeah, so we covered the Giants game. Where else we going?
Yeah, we have the Bills. Shout out to Josh Allen. Any Josh Allen doubters? Y'all are idiots. That's another way talking about guys that started a little slow. Yeah, that's don't fall for that. He's a stud. Yeah, he's still the stallion. Yeah.
Dawson Knox. One of the guys. Who? Dawson Knox. Is he a thing?
I think he might be. He's a tight end. I'm going to target on the waiver wire.
Dawson Knox or Dalton Schultz. Right, like on the way.
Dawson Knox.
Yeah,
here's why. It's because to be a thing as a tight end, you literally just got to get a touchdown or 45 yards, one of the two, and you're a top 12 tight end on the week. And I think he could do one or the other in every week.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty consistent. Schultz, I think he'll be real hit or miss.
Yeah, there's still a Blake Jarwin there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Knox is the only tight end.
Yeah, because you think about it. If you think about it, we got to remember Josh Allen last year led the league in most different players. Am I saying this right? Like, you know what I mean? That he scored he threw a touchdown pass to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like most different ones. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it is. That's why I was like, Either way, just grab them anyway, right?
Even you don't have anything to lose. I mean, if you're like in one league, my tight end is a garbage. In one league, you have like Jawan Johnson and Zach Ertz. So yeah, I'll probably grab him there.
I got my first dub in your league. I was fearing going 0-3. I scraped one right past clock. Shout out the clock, and it was a last minute swap of Max Williams. I was like, man, what am I doing with Max Williams? Give me who'd I grab? Give me Austin Powers Hooper. I was like, boom, it was like a last minute swap. And actually he didn't do much but catch a touchdown, but I guarantee he was top 12.
Well, that's what I said. He didn't do shit. He had like 20 yards, had a touchdown that snuck him into the top 12. Like, that's what's wild about this tight end game.
That's better than a Max Williams donut. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Everyone was on that train. What do you think about everyone panicking on Diggs though? Like, everybody is off the I'm not saying everyone, but Diggs. Buy him now.
Yeah, buy him now. Yes, because he's gonna about like Beasley busted out, Sanders busted out. It's gonna be Diggs here soon. Diggs is about to bust out.
Pick up Manny Sanders, Colonel Sanders, heir to the KFC empire, and then move him. I do that shit all the time. I'll I'll pick them up and then package them up in another deal. And be like, look at it, right? The Colonel.
Listen to this trade. So you guys know I got my Patreon going, and people ask me questions all the time. And one guy was like, "Can you believe somebody offered me Julio Jones for Emmanuel Sanders?" So he's trading away Emmanuel Sanders to get Julio Jones, and I was like, "Well, are you going to take it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I already accepted it."
You know what's funny? That second part sounded like a lie. He thought it was preposterous at first. Like, what the fuck? And I bet you he declined it. Yeah, I accepted it. Duh. Like people wouldn't. It's like, you know what you could have. You know what that guy was trying to do? Disguise that he was asking, "Hey, should I do this?" He's like, "Hey, can you believe this?"
Yeah.
Okay, man. This is what I'm here for. Yeah, I'll tell. You can just be honest. It's lies on lies.
Oh yeah.
I love it though. People be scared. I think the smartest people, first of all, the genius asks questions. The dumbass stays quiet, acts like he knows everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's no such thing as a stupid question, just stupid people.
Exactly.
Ooh, heard that growing up.
There's also such thing as stupid answers though, because I'll give a stupid answer real quick. You know?
Next up, Arizona beats Jacksonville 31-19. I have two questions for this. We'll start off with my first question. My first question for the old prestigious panel here. Do you think they should have attempted that 68-yard field goal?
No, not at all. That was so far.
Yeah, no.
That was so far.
All right.
I mean, was there like a strong gust of wind? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're like,
I really don't care because I was watching Red Zone.
Let's do this.
I was watching Red Zone.
We're gonna kick it right in the Florida gust. You know what I mean? Florida is crazy wind, bro. I've been out there, bro. It's a different type of animal.
I don't know if it's that crazy, dude. When they lined up,
it's musty.
I saw it.
It's musty to the motherfucker.
You know what? You think it's just because they go out there with no pads, nobody, and they kick 65, 70 yarders like it's nothing with no pressure on, zero pressure at all.
You know what's crazy is I bet you, someone was there next to the coach. He was like, "I seen him do it, coach. I seen him.
He did it in warm-ups today."
He's like, "Bro, I seen him twice, bro." And then there's another guy in the back over his shoulder.
Yep. He
He's
did
like,
it.
Mm-hmm. Twice. Let's do it. Calls in the special teams. Let's do it. 68. And then you know what's funny? They probably got the word too. They're like, "Hey, y'all hear about Justin Tucker? He hit 66, bro. Word." You know what? He can hit 68 twice. Seen him twice. The other guy on the side. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Because that was unless there is just like the ultimate Russian mob that's like, kick the ball, field goal attempt. You know what I mean? Just fixing the game. And then because the Russian mob has like $1 billion on a record tying fucking return kick. You know what I mean? Like they have everyone's family. You know what I mean? And
are you saying he's Nigel Gruff? Is that what you're saying? What happened in this game?
Exactly,
dude, I shit you not. Speaking of mob in general, I shit you not. I was getting a haircut one time. And this is when I was in college, and this lady's cut my hair, and she was like, she just brings up, it was on a Sunday, so I'm missing some of the game. She's like, "Oh, you're missing football for this." I was like, "Yeah." This middle of a haircut, and she goes, "Well, I don't watch the NFL." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And like I was gonna move on with the conversation, and then she goes, Yeah. It's ran by the mob, so I prefer college football. And I wanted to be like, why don't you get those scissors far away from me? Because you're freaking me out. Like,
and
dude, middle of a haircut.
Yeah, college is more corrupt.
The easiest to fix too. Like,
yeah, college is corrupted. All the illegal stuff with recruiting and all that shit.
She sounds like a broad who owes the mob a lot of money from NFL bets. She's like, so now I just gamble on college.
Just a weird thing to bring up in the middle of a haircut. I was like, what the fuck? Oh man. My next question about this game though is, and I brought it up last week, I'm gonna say it again. Is it possible that Trevor Lawrence isn't a guy?
No,
I'll defend him. I'll defend him again. I know he's been terrible, but just remember, like guys, like a lot of rookies struggle. Like the rookie struggling is the norm. You know, I mean, Justin Herbert last year was the exception. That's not the norm. I mean, I think T-Law will be just fine. I mean, shit, Peyton Manning struggled as a rookie, so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of growing pains for Trevor. The team around him suck.
Is that what we're doing? We're comparing him to Payne?
I mean, they were both super. Like they were generational talents.
Yesterday on Monday Night Football, Peyton they were talking about Trevor Lawrence, and he was like, "Let me tell you." He was like, I lost more games in the NFL my first year than I lost in high school and college.
Yep,
everywhere.
The Manning cast. Yeah, he brought that up. Yeah.
And there's only two quarterbacks so far in NFL history that have started their first 3 games averaging 2 interceptions a game. Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman.
Hey, real quick,
I think Trevor will be okay.
How many millions do you think Peyton Manning and dumbass Eli are getting paid to just do this?
A lot.
Eli. Get up, blur this out.
And Eli freaking at his parents' house over there eating meatloaf and stuff. Not even a.
That shit is so tight.
I know you guys saw him doing the Dak impression, right? The little swivel the hips.
Oh yeah, the salsa thing. Yeah, who did it better, Eli or Dak?
And who was it? Chris Long came on. He was like, "Man, Eli, those hips don't lie."
Yeah, then they roasted him on his pit sweat. They're like, "Man, Chris, you got like you sweating."
Hey, you can't really hate on Manning, man. Even though he's like a bumbling idiot, he has 2. I mean, on Eli Manning, we can get specific. Like, I mean, he has 2 rings, and he's like a bumbling idiot, right? But like, those
just had his
seasons,
number retired too.
They were wild. Though they were both wild card seasons. I mean, wild card teams.
Number 6, right?
Both times, and beat the Patriots. Like, and one of them was the undefeated Patriots. Like, this is like epic. Like, you know what's crazy? I bet you Tom Brady. That's the time. You know, when they used to play each other outside of Super Bowl, he always beat Eli Manning. And I bet you after them Super Bowls, when he goes to shake his hand, just because he's petty. He's like, I gotta swipe him somehow. I gotta fuck him.
Eli did so good that they made Tom Brady and Bill Belichick give a tribute to him because of his jersey retiring that happened.
Yeah, they were like, but Eli Manning, the only man that can bring Brady and Bill back together.
Because you know what? Belichick, he's like cerebral. He's like, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, right? Like super intelligent, like high level thinking, like Aaron Rodgers. And then one time he even called Andrew Luck like an Aaron Rodgers type, like, you know what I mean? Like all these cerebral assassins, and then he gets this dumbass. He's like, I can't fucking read him, bro. He's like, I just can't fucking read this idiot. It's like he plays like he doesn't even know the score.
Peyton's real cerebral, that Eli is like the lovable little brother. You know, he's like a little punching bag, but he sneaks up on you, man. He sneaks up. Gotta give him credit.
Yeah, credit's due. And now they're getting a bag, and now they're getting a big old bag to just watch the Monday night games, basically.
You gotta love it.
And bring on cool ass guests.
Right? Yeah, even brought old man Archie on for a little bit.
Do you think Jacksonville wins a game this year?
I bet they get one right in the last at the end.
Yeah, they'll win
a couple. Yeah, they play the Texans and whatever game they play week 18, which is the new week 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they'll beat the Texans when they play them again. Yeah, because they lost to the Texans week 1. I'll say this is a take. I think the Jags finished with a better record than the Texans.
They play the Colts week 18. If the Colts aren't in like some playoff wild card contention or 7 seed contention, right? They probably beat them.
It'll probably be Jacob. It'll be Jacob Eason starting by then. Carson Wentz, he ain't gonna make it the full.
I mean, he's playing on 2 sprained ankles, bro. And you know what? I think they're lying, bro. I think they're lying about one of them sprained ankles. I think they're trying to make him look like Rocky right now. Or like remember when Kobe used to like sprain the finger and then he'd go out there and put up 60, he'd have his fingers taped. Yeah, I always thought it was bullshit. It's propaganda.
Yeah,
he's so bummed. He's so bummed that they're going to say you're hurt.
Once they get out of playoff contention, they're just going to sit him or something so he doesn't play the 7 games. Then they don't have to give up, that second rounder for him?
Yep. What's 70% of 17?
We all got to get a calculator.
Yeah.
What's 70% of 17?
12 games.
Okay, so
11.9,
if he doesn't play 12 games, then the Eagles don't have to give up a first rounder. That's how it works, right?
I believe so.
Okay, this is fun. Oh shit! And people are trying to sell Jonathan Taylor like a motherfucker right now too. I
buy JT. Buy.
I want to buy him, but like I also don't know if I want to buy him because
if the offense is total shit. Yeah, it's kind of concerning.
Let me tell you about a trade. You tell me if I did good. It's in a 2 QB plus super flex, so you can start 3 QBs. I traded Heineke and Gaskin for TJ Hawkinson and Jonathan Taylor.
I like it. I mean, you obviously have QBs, right?
Hawkinson. Yeah, if you need tight end, then that's solid.
Yeah.
Hey, I love Hawkinson, man, because he's just gonna get volume, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't panic about this week. I think this was just an outlier. He'll be fine the rest of the way.
He was the best. He was their best player. So
yeah, they did.
The Ravens are still good coached. They're a great coach team. The only thing is they're all beat up everywhere. They're missing hella starters everywhere. You know what I mean? So we're actually gonna watch the Ravens play themselves into like what this year's version of the Ravens are gonna be. Like they're probably gonna I'm telling you, Greg Roman tried to do this with my Niners before, and now they have no choice because they don't believe in Mike Tyson Williams or Latavius Murray. You know what I mean? They got Bateman on the way back. They're going to be throwing the ball a ton more. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's kind of crazy to see a team do a drastic 180. But I've seen Greg Roman do this with my Niners and Kaepernick after 2 years of the read option and running the ball and play action and shit like that, right? You know what I mean? Fucking mobile QB. He had that on steroids with our man Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Tight ends eat like shit. You know, Vernon Davis ate like shit. You know what I mean? Mark Andrews, he eats like shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is. But now they're going to change it. You see 4 wide receiver sets. They're going to do what he did with my Niners, and that's what when my Niners went 8-8, and then they fired everybody.
Yeah, it might be. I think Baltimore still sneak a wild card.
They're not going to fire. I'm not saying they're going to fire these guys, but I'm saying like.
It's the transition. Yeah, they're gonna be a little bit in transition. Yeah, because they don't have enough personnel in the backfield to do the power run game when they had Ingram and Gus and JK.
Do they trade for Marlon Mack?
It's possible. I feel like they could do it. Probably them or your Niners would be the most likely because
you put that evil on me, Spencer.
2 most RB starved teams in the league.
we are RB fiends. We're like, hey, bro. You got any running backs over there, bro?
What is this for? One of them running backs.
I got this barbecue grill.
Barbecue grill, a 7th round pick. That should do a trick.
Yeah. Get a running back. Let me get Marlon back.
Oh shit. Next game, New Orleans downs New England 28-13.
Who that? Woo! Man, I
just realized no one's gonna get that barbecue grill reference either. Huh? That's always on, bro. Always on.
So I feel bad for Mac Jones. I mean, I don't know, not really. He is starting. Who knew that was going to happen this early? But
he dropped 300 on that defense, though.
I'm just saying he's looking solid, and then you got guys like Jonnu Smith who are doing a little, and then right into Malcolm Jenkins' hands, straight for a touchdown. You know, like it's weird how he's looking solid, and the rest of the team on offense is looking so bad that it's dragging him down. That's what's weird.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that because I didn't like all those guys New England signed this offseason. To me, they signed a bunch of just mediocre talent. Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. Y'all signed the wrong people, man. Them boys ain't going to get it done for y'all. Like Mac Jones, I got to give him props because it was one of those games. It's like, I mean, we beat him by double digits, but for a lot of the game, it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't like when we boat raced Green Bay in week 1. This was actually a pretty competitive game up until that Malcolm Jenkins pick 6.
Was it the dog's call to bring in Jonnu?
Yeah, I don't know. He had a dog. I think the dog had kind of an off season this year. I didn't like what they did by signing all these overrated skill guys to big contracts.
Hey,
Do you think
Kendrick
that
Lamar born identity, bro? He did his thing.
Do you think Bill Belichick, I mean, he's just kind of living in the past, like with the things that worked with Tom Brady, you know, like nearly 20 years ago, you know, type thing? Because got to evolve. Like, you need good wide receivers. I don't care who you are. Like, they're not going to be able to win with a defense not being the number one defense in the league.
They should have looked at Josh Gordon since they're already familiar with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They should have done that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah, with Hustle about Belichick and possibly living in the past. I could see that. I mean, he hadn't really evolved.
He's trying to do everything.
Right. Yeah.
The shorter A-dot guys that are going to take it, you know, like, you know, the quick hitter passing game, every slot receiver you could find on the market.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't have any downfield threats, or just all these just check down type guys.
They consider Nelson Aguilar that guy because Nelson Aguilar, you know what I'm saying, coming out of college, that was part of his repertoire. If you look what they always do with Josh McDaniels is they find an outside guy, an outside burner, whether it's a Brandon Cooks or even after that they were like, fuck, we have Philip Dorsett. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they do this. This version now is Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, he ain't that dude though. Like, they don't have the personnel. That's the thing. They're trying to fit square pegs in the round holes. Yeah, they're trying to fit square pegs in the round holes, and it ain't working. So I'm glad the Saints got the win, but it just tells me that New England ain't what they once were. Because I mean, the Saints, we played okay, but our offense wasn't too good. I mean, Jameis was kind of up and down throughout the day. It was
he did the most Jameis Winston shit. That was awesome, bro.
Oh, then Callaway, when Callaway mossed the dude, yeah, that was awesome. I was like, oh my god, I thought it was a pick. I was like, motherfucker,
that's why I don't
fucking pick.
I don't call him famous Jameis. I call him infamous Winston.
Yeah, that was infamous Winston there. Yeah, that was infamous Winston, bro. Yeah, when that all the Saints beat writers tweeted out like LMAO what, like they couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, that's infamous Winston for y'all. Be ready for it. Buckle up.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how I know we're jumping around but a little bit, but how's Jameis doing? I mean, week 2 he kind of sucked. He hasn't thrown more than 22 attempts in any game. He hasn't thrown more than 200 yards in a game. But they're sitting pretty good.
That's Sean Payton reining him in. That's Sean Payton scaling his workload. He doesn't want him to be as like the way he was in Tampa, throwing 30 picks.
Hey, shout out to Hector Main for breaking down the tape because we did our first show because he's gonna be joining us every Tuesdays and Thursdays now on Fantasy News Today. You know what I'm saying? And did I say the name of the show right?
Yeah. Fantasy News Today.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know why I always feel like it's wrong, like because I always call it FNT. You know, like, is that right? I'm like, anyways, he was like swearing Winston is the GOAT. I'm like, I wanted to argue him so bad just on the factual things, right? Of like his stats and what's going on, like pass attempts, etc. Right? But it's like deep down inside, I really love infamous Winston because for fantasy, he's just I'm like, oh wait, we haven't seen it yet. It's coming because your secondary is giving up 300 to a rookie. You know what I mean? Like this is what I expected going into the year. And I am expecting Jameis Winston to be like a 4,500-yard passer because I feel like you guys have a ton of shootouts on the docket in the making. Like, who do you guys got this week? The Giants?
We won't have too many coming up the next couple weeks. We got the Giants and Washington, but then after the bye week, we'll probably have some. We'll have like Seattle, Buffalo. Like, we'll have some, not. Yeah, not in the.
Maybe we won't call it 4,500 yards, but he's going for 4,000. Wow.
It's possible. I wouldn't bet on it because I really do believe in the Saints defense, but I might be a tad biased. But I really do. We've got a lot of talent on defense. If the defense stays healthy, he ain't throwing for 4,000.
They need
here's the breakdown.
Kamara more too.
Here's the breakdown.
Yeah, more check downs, more screens. Yeah.
Here's the breakdown because it's all about the math these days because we got 17 games. So 5,000, you got to go for 296 a game. 4,500, like Bogard said, you got to go for 264 per game to make 4,235 yards a game. Winston's still well below that average right now.
It's all good because he's gonna have like a couple 300-yard outings. He'll make it up. I'm telling you, this team. I'm sticking to my guns. I was saying it. If it's Jameis, it's because this coach knows. This is when we didn't know if it was Jameis or Taysom, right? But I was saying if it's Jameis, it's because this coach knows they finna be in some shootouts, and they know Taysom can't bring them back in those shootouts. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the gunslinger, infamous Winston.
I want to bring Bogart back to the preseason when he was flip-flopping like crazy because first he said it was Winston, and then he was on that Taysom Hill train so much. You were trying to will it into existence.
Because you know what? You want to know why I switched over? It's because I saw those goddamn workouts, right? And then here's another reason why. Is I figured, okay, they're gonna morph into even more run team, a power run team, just even with the QB. And this was going to be life without Michael Thomas, right? So it was like, okay. And our defense, I always projected that defense secondary to be a little sus. So I'm like, this is how they're going to mask it. Own time of possession. Don't let Taysom get into too many shootouts. They had this before Will Lutz got hurt too, because then you could play lower scoring games. Just like, all right, get in the field goal position. You know what I mean? Like that was my theory because I thought that personnel they had, because I didn't think they would really trust Jameis anymore. Like I'm like, because they didn't give it to him. Like, do you know what it is too? Me and Spencer talked about this a lot, and Spencer will vouch that when I brought him on immediately after the Saints had got knocked out of the playoffs, I didn't do it to to rub it in his face or anything. Oh no, I think it was the week of. Right?
Yeah, I think it was the preview before.
It was the preview.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And I talked about it a little bit like, hey, it's, life after Drew Brees. You know what I mean? And I was on record for saying that it's going to be Jameis. You know what I mean? But since then, I flip flopped like 19 times only to get it wrong. It's a good thing I didn't put any money on that thing because
yeah, it was Sean Payton kept the cards real close to the vest, and it was smart that. Because it kind of throws people off. And he's still mixing and matching at times. Like in the fourth quarter on the game-winning drive to seal it, there was a lot of Taysom Hill there. Taysom Hill scored the touchdown to put us up 28-13. So, I mean, yeah, he's going to still be a pest at times. So, I mean, yeah, he's not the starter, but that doesn't mean he's completely out of the picture. He still works in a good amount. He's still a big part of this team. Jameis will keep the job as long as the Saints are winning, but it's not a sure thing. If we were getting on a losing streak, we might see some Taysom Hill.
My take on Taysom Hill and the whole Sean Payton thing, it's that Sean Payton and his wife, they're swingers, and she really has a thing for Taysom Hill, and she just won't let him go. That's the only explanation. There could be nothing else besides that. It's got to be that wild.
She gives Sean Payton like a truckload of what's the kind of gum he chews? Juicy fruit.
Yeah, give her some effing juicy fruit. Yeah, he was screaming at
she gives him a truck of juicy fruit. She's like, we need to keep him. Like, here's all the juicy fruit.
Yeah, give him that freaking retarded contract. Yeah, that contract was ridiculous. I know it's not guaranteed, but looking at it, you're like, what in the actual fuck?
Taysom is such a
$120 million for Taysom Hill.
Tim Tebow's pissed. Tim Tebow's somewhere pissed.
He's like, damn it, why didn't I link up with Sean Payton? Shit.
What about if they'll bring in Cam Newton, right? I've been saying this just to troll people. They're gonna bring on Cam Newton to be the backup to Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? Because they'll put in Cam Newton, like if Taysom Hill goes down, they're like, we need Cam Newton to play the Taysom Hill role. You know what I mean? Because that's what Cam Newton is these days. He's Taysom Hill's backup.
Yeah. And I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, ain't gonna do it, but it would just be a crazy ass Sean Payton. That's the thing. Sean Payton is he never know what he's gonna do. He always he's like he's an annoying coach for fantasy. Like for example, with Jawan Johnson, like maybe Jawan Johnson's a thing. Nope.
I sold him in 2 leagues.
Smart. Yeah,
that's capitalizing.
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was smart.
Like, you know what it is too? It's always somebody like. One of them was in one of my home leagues, right? And a motherfucker, he just jumped in the chat. He was like, "Damn, Jawan Johnson," and I was like, "There he is."
He's yours.
was like, I'm sending them your way.
Give me
Oh
Kelsey.
man, you know what I just thought of right now? It's like the Water Boy, where they're about to do the kick, and he's like looking around, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's my bitch."
Like, listen, all you gotta do is listen in, and they'll tell you what they want. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah, but before we hop to the next game, Hustler, you're hopping off, yeah?
Yep, I'm out of here. All right, guys.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully, we get to do this more in the future too. Yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, me and Bogart, we got it's called Fantasy News Today, Monday through Friday. It's on 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and then we also got the Real Fantasy Playmakers on at 6:30 West Coast time on Wednesday, 9:30 East Coast time on Wednesday. It's on my channel, Fantasy Football Hustler. It's on Bogart's channel, the GMM Network. Got a lot of content coming, so if you don't follow me on YouTube, make sure you go smash that subscribe button. We also got a signed Ricky Williams jersey giveaway. As soon as we hit 1,750 subscribers, we're like 100 away.
Yeah, and Huss, definitely let them know about all the waiver joints, because I just actually I'll let them know, because this tremendously helps me every week. Last year I used to do a waiver show, and I used to do it live, and I used to do one pre-recorded for my own channel. And like, I would miss out on my own waivers, man. It's like in all these IDP leagues, because he is the IDP king, y'all, and his IDP waiver breakdowns are the shit, man. It tremendously helps me. You know what I mean?
Offense and IDP waivers, I'm always dropping on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, I'm getting all my start and sit uploads in there. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday is all the start and sit question and answer sessions. So they've been lasting anywhere from like an hour and a half to 2.5 hours right now. I've been answering 100% of questions. So it's kind of been my claim to fame so far, is if you come in, you may have to wait 20 or 30 minutes to get your answer, but I'm going down the list one by one.
Hell yeah, dude. Hustler, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you're a busy guy. I love it.
Always like rapping with you guys and talking some shit.
He's
bringing up Bogard. And bringing up Bogard's Taysom Hill take when he flip-flopped like 20 times in the span of a month.
Listen, I am on record for saying, all right, this week I'm flipping. I'm like, I like Taysom this week. Like, I'm flipping every week, bro, on air. So
it was more times than once a week, because I think you flip-flopped like 20 times in like a month span.
Yeah, that's true. It made for great television, though.
A goddamn 5 times a week, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, dude.
All right, guys. Appreciate you having me on. Hopefully, we'll do this again real soon. Peace out, guys.
Appreciate it, Hustler.
All right, Hustler. Good.
Yeah, I'll be legend.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be joining y'all tomorrow, right, Bogard?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Blake, I also told Blake, it's because, you know what I'm saying? Remember, I was like, what time you get off Wednesdays? Because I know it's the end of the month too. But if you get off, I'm shooting you the link, you hop on. It's the What If series.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Bet.
Like, spoiler alert, we won't elaborate, but I always like throwing out my what ifs early, because right now, this is my what if. What if only Devontae Adams, and maybe not even Devontae Adams, will return to the top 6 receiver spots in fantasy? Because right now, it's way different. Devontae Adams is in there, though. But at the top, and for those that don't know, Brandon Cooks is one of them right now.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett. Yeah, it's crazy out there.
Tune in for the Real Fantasy Playmakers What If series.
Yeah, man, I'm ready. Ready. I have to get my what ifs ready to roll for that. Yep. Kind of like the bold take series, man. My hawk take is looking really good through 2 weeks. He's gonna have to bounce back though.
My Zach Wilson hot bold prediction
that
looked good for 1 week
right now.
It looked good for 1 week, because he threw for like 250 plus, ran for like 60 on the ground or something like that. You know, he was doing what I needed him to do. But then, but you know what's crazy? I only have 1 share. Oh, I have 2 shares, one in Dynasty, one in the Superflex redraft. But those are the only places I have Zach Wilson. And in my Dynasty, I'm like, all right, well, we'll see. Maybe he'll be good in my redraft. I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
we
can maybe still work out a deal in the redraft. You've got Lawrence, who's disappointed. We almost had a deal in the works.
Man, come on, bro. I love Lawrence, man. He's the law. I don't know. Zach Wilson. I sent you a few deals in the beginning, remember?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger because Eckler so far has outdone Montgomery.
Well, because you know what it was? Is Eckler was hurt, and I came through like, give me him. He's hurt.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just here's the thing. When you guys get those trade offers, just deny it. You know, just be like, oh, that's Bogard. It's business as usual for me. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is get into talking. Like, but y'all is smart. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying people are dumb that trade with me, but I'm saying like you guys aren't panickers. There you go. That's
right. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people panic. They see something.
Like, hey, I show up at the door like, hey, let me get Austin Eckler off your hands. Bro, I traded for a bunch of Clyde last week.
I did hours of math for our trade.
Yeah, because you know what though? Our trade was good before we didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I still like our trade for you. Like, I still like David Montgomery. They're going to get it together. But the problem there is literally the play calling. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's Nagy or if it's Bill Lazor, but that's because their defense is still good, but their offense has been putting them in bad situations. And I'm telling, and then now they're doing the stupidest thing. So we'll get to the Chicago game next, right? But now they're doing the stupidest thing by saying that Nick Foles and Andy Dalton and Justin Fields are all in the conversation. What the fuck? Why would you do that to the rookie? That's like a confidence destroyer.
Yeah, I mean, he had to go against Myles Garrett this week. It's like, man, give him another chance. Don't get Nick Foles into the mix now. Like, come on.
Like, is this like coach speak that he thinks is gonna like light a fire under his kid's ass, bro? Because that's whack.
Yeah, it's been terrible, man. I hate to say it, but I think it's probably gonna be a rough deal for Fields this year. And I think this is gonna be the end of Nagy, and then next year Fields will be okay. So
next year it is Eric Bieniemy.
Yes, that would be awesome. Or Joe Brady. Yeah, one of them. That would be sick.
Do you think
hopefully Bieniemy? I think he'd do well.
Do you think there's a chance that Andy Reid retires with all this stuff that's going on with his health and shit like that?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Then
Bieniemy
keep that job.
Yeah, Eric he'd be a shoe-in.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Joe Brady, then maybe to the Bears.
Nah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't. They're not going to bring in some youngster. They're going to keep, because Eric Bieniemy was the guy who took over. He took over Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy leaves 2018. He parlays his OC gig. He was the OC. He was the quarterback coach. Then he was the OC in 2017 with Alex Smith. Had a career year with Matt Mahomes in the waiting. They go ahead. He parlays that into a head coaching job with the Bears, and then they promote in-house Eric Bieniemy, and they go to the Super Bowl. I mean, they go to the AFC title game. The next year they go to the Super Bowl. The next year they go to the Super Bowl again. You know what I mean? After winning it, you see how I try to gloss over the fact that they went and then won it. They went to the Super Bowl, then they went to the Super Bowl again.
I get your point. Yeah, they might want to go with somebody that's a little more seasoned, because he had the Bears. That's a tough gig, and I mean Nagy was obviously not cut out for it. I mean he needs to go.
Joe Brady going to the Bears. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, maybe, but it's just like, I mean, I know he's young, but I was like, I think they need someone to work with Fields, whether it's his head coach or OC. I think Brady really wants to be a head coach. Like, he's really rising. He's risen quick as a young guy. I think he's like, could be the next Sean McVay.
You know what, though? I want to say something. There is no next Sean McVay. He could be the first Joe Brady. You know what I mean? Like, because he's that good. He had like, bro, Joe Brady's good. You know what I mean? You know, there's a bunch of like, you know who's the Sean McVay disciple that has a coaching job? Zach Taylor. You know
he's been. I thought about that today. Actually, I was like, wait, who is the Bengals coach? And I was like, it's Zach Taylor. They're off to a quiet 2-1 start. Got to give the Bengals credit. I mean, I know Blake's probably salty about that.
Their defense is coming around too.
That's why they've been doing so. I mean, Burrow's off to kind of a rocky start of their defense, and then Jamar Chase, baby. Chase has been an animal.
Let's just hop right into that game too. So I got two things that absolutely set. Well, one thing that set me off and one thing that made me laugh. So late in the game, you're down by 2 touchdowns. You got your timeouts, 4th and 10 from the 12-yard line, and you throw a pass like behind the line of scrimmage. The fuck was that play call, dude? What the fuck was that? And then
that was his arm not having enough strength.
Bro.
He couldn't muster up the strength for the pass.
My dad had me laughing so hard because my dad's a massive Steelers fan, and I called him. I was like, what the fuck was that play call? My dad goes, he's like, I mean, shit, it was 4th and 10. He's like, they probably looked around a little bit and thought, well, we don't have a play that goes 10 yards, so I guess we'll throw it behind the line of scrimmage. Hope he breaks a couple tackles.
Yeah, they really
like,
don't, man.
Shit,
Who's their OC now? Is it Matt Canada? Is that it?
Yeah.
Man, he is
Matt
sucked.
Canada.
I know. I thought
Canada.
fucking Finkter was.
You know what's
bad,
crazy?
dude.
It was the wrong time to try to install a new offense with an aging Big Ben who's probably on the way out. Like they should have just ran something similar to what they're used to. Here's the thing: is Ben Roethlisberger is the problem over there. He got rid of Tom. He got rid of what was Buddy that came from the Browns? I mean, he went to the Browns. Damn, I forget the offensive coordinator. Was it Cable? No, it wasn't Cable. That's our line coach. Either way, I usually know these things. You know me. Either way,
you're usually good on the coaches. I'll give you a pass, Bogard. You're normally good with coaches.
Yeah, he's had beef with every one of these OCs where they'll get rid of the OC, then they'll hire the QB coach. So the system that is installed will always be similar. This is the first year they just brought in this guy. Like, all right, Matt Canada. You know what I mean? We're going to get him under center. We're going to get some play action, some motions. They're just trying to copy everything that Shanahan and the rest of the league is doing because that's what's going on. You even see like the Raiders are doing motions all day. Like this is just what's going on, and it's not working for him. Everything is short because I think he lacks the arm strength. Look at Najee Harris. I love this for all my Najee Harris shares in Dynasty and a couple in redraft. But 19 targets. 19 targets. He gets 14 receptions. 100 yards.
It's crazy. Yeah, it was Randy Fletcher was the last OC. It looks like
Randy Fletcher.
Or Fitch? No, not Fletcher.
Randy Finkner, Todd Haley,
Todd Haley.
Todd Haley. Yep, that's it.
There he is. Todd Haley. When they had Todd Haley is when they were in the playoffs. That was when they were in the conversation. That was when they had the triple Bs.
Right. Yeah, that was when they were straight fire on offense.
And then he had beef with Tom. I kept calling him Tom Cable. His name is Todd Haley.
Yeah.
Listen, Todd Haley was the guy. You know why I love Nick Chubb and I have him in every single one of my keeper leagues, right? Or not every single one. My one keeper league, I have him and I keep him every year because I drafted him as a rookie because when the Browns, when he beefed with Todd Haley, he went over to the Browns, and that year they drafted Nick Chubb. I'm like, oh, they finna run, B. I was like, they drafted Baker and him in the same draft. I was like, oh, they finna run. And I love Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb had an injury coming out of college, or else he would have been a first rounder. Here's the Browns in the second round. Like, hell yeah, Nick Chubb's finna ball.
Yeah, it wasn't that the same draft as him and Sony Michel came out the same year. And then Belichick,
see, check this out. The Patriots, right? They wanted to trade back like they always do. Yeah. So instead of, because they wanted to trade back, still get Sony Michel. So they're like, fuck it, we'll just grab him. And for what it's worth, they rode him all year and won the Super Bowl. He's the only guy who scored a touchdown in that game in the Super Bowl. Sony Michel did that.
Well, I'll at least say this, like as far as the Steelers go, my viewpoint, and this was actually a conversation I also had with my dad. So my viewpoint is the problem is there's no stretch in the field, and it's gotten to a point where I completely agree with you guys. At this point, you got to ride out Big Ben because you really don't have anyone to trust under center. But I have said it time and time again and Bogard can attest to it. I said it week 1 to you, Guru. Like the problem is there is no preparation for life after Big Ben. And that's the true issue. And no one wants to address it, in my opinion. As far as like if you talk to any like real Steeler homers. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you take a step back and you try to analyze the situation, that's the problem. There is no preparation. So what are you going to do? You're going to have him throw screen passes to the running back behind the line of scrimmage. And the defense is going to stack the box. You don't have to worry about the field being stretched. You stack the box, and guess what? If they run it, you got guys there. If we throw it, well, you're in luck because we're fucking throwing a screen pass. Like, we're not a hard team to defend at all anymore. Whereas we used to be able to stretch the field. We used to throw the ball.
with AB, Juju,
right.
Yeah, y'all had God.
Right. And it's a problem because at this point, there is no life after Big Ben.
Yeah, because I'll say, if I give my Saints credit as far as life after Drew Brees, we really got prepared, man. I had like 3 years in advance. Then we had Teddy Bridge ready. And then when Brees kept going and going, all right, fine, we'll let Teddy walk and bring in Jameis. And then we had Taysom in the mix all that time. So Sean Payton knew that life after Drew Brees was on the horizon. And look at us now. The offense isn't like amazing, but it's afloat. It's staying afloat. And I think it could improve as the year goes on, especially when we get Michael Thomas back. Considering all the injuries we've had, I feel like it's been just fine because Sean Payton prepared for life without Drew Brees, and he's reaping the benefits right now. He's not having to pay the piper, as they say, because he prepared. He realized that Drew was getting near the end of the road.
Yeah, it's it's just one of those things where you look at it and it's just like, God damn it.
It's frustrating. Yeah, because you could see this. I was saying, I was like, Big Ben. Some people were still Big Ben truthers. I was like, well, Big Ben is getting very old. He's got a bad elbow and such. He's somebody I want no part of for fantasy this year. It's like the only Steelers I'd consider drafting would be Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris. And sure enough, they've both done well. Deontay didn't play this week, but he's done well in the games he played because he feasts on those short passes, him and Juju, except Deontay at least gets a little bit down the field. He gets a little bit of yak yards. Juju is just straight trash, man. And then Chase Claypool, Juju is trash. I'm sorry. He can do his little TikToks and all that all he wants, but Juju, you are shit, bro. Like, you are not. He is the most, like, I swear, it's just every day. It's like 5 yards in your tackle.
Shout out my man Hector again, breaking down the tape, man. Because he was like, Claypool is poised to be that number one guy. And I agreed, but not this year.
Oh, yeah, I heard that with him. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, not this year. Ben can't get him the ball.
Because let's think about this. When it comes to Claypool, he's still the young buck who was holding the camera for Juju where he could dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do the little red Corvette or whatever the fuck the shit is called.
Oh, it's so stupid. And again, he outproduced him. Yep. Yeah,
but dude, I said it, and Bogard can attest to this because I've said it so many times we've been together. I said from the get-go, I was like, let Juju go at this point. I don't give a goddamn. Let him go.
Yeah, y'all were gonna let him go, and no one wanted him. He signed back on a one-year deal.
The Ravens wanted him.
The Ravens wanted him, and the Chiefs put a deal on the table. He stayed with the
Oh yeah, he wanted to stay home. Yeah,
for less money too.
Yeah,
that's weird. Yeah,
amount of money.
He ain't all there, man. That dude he's ain't all there.
He has a brand. That's what sucks too about some of these kids, man. Like, he has a brand. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a great point, Bogart. He's more worried about his stupid TikTok brand. He's more worried about being Juju than he is his playing future. It's pitiful,
the team,
man.
Like, there literally is no Jew in team or I in that matter. You know what I mean?
yeah. God damn,
I love Juju though, bro. Juju's the shit. He's a Sagittarius like me. This is kind of what we do. We just dance to the beat of our own drum. You know what I mean? And that's what sucks. It sucks too because he kind of polluted. That's like polluting the young mind of a Claypool, you know what I mean? AKA Deadpool, who I actually am big on moving forward, though.
Oh, yeah,
Deadpool also is on TikTok like a motherfucker, though.
Is he?
He's on TikTok like a motherfucker. He's
got
his own brand and
he's
shit.
following in the footsteps of Juju.
Ooh, yeah.
He's learning. He's learning. Yeah.
I will say, though, this is what, shout out to Coach T, because it's not that Coach T allows this. He embraces it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he will have to tell them when they get out of line, but come on, he's had some personalities that he's had to deal with and still be
Bell
successful.
And AB,
Bell, AB, and then even
Ben, Ben's
even Roethlisberger.
Asshole, yeah.
Remember when Bell was holding out and then James Conner was absolutely balling, right? Hometown kid, hell of a story, cancer survivor. or beat leukemia, whichever. I forget what it was. Forgive me for because I don't want to downplay whatever battle that he did defeat. You know what I mean? Then gets on the field because Lev Bell wants some money. He's trying to cut an album. He's like, who wants it? You know what I mean? He's like, give me all the money. I don't give a fuck who it is. It ain't gonna be the Steelers. He's holding out, and here's Big Ben in the press conference. He's like, well, James Conner, he's looking pretty good. I don't really think we need Bell. Like, because they're asking him straight up. In the press conference, the motherfucker's gonna ask you shit. Hey, you guys, how you feel about Le'Veon Bell? Like, oh, we don't even need him now.
Bro, I bought a shirt when he was holding out. I bought a Steelers shirt. It said Nobel Prize winner, and it had James Conner in the center going like this.
Yes,
that's sick.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah,
that is.
I thoroughly loved Najee Harris though. Moving forward, I was really big on him. The receptions are what's going to get him into the top 5 conversation, possibly. The touchdowns might, they'll be there because it still is an offense that can move the ball. Considering the fact that Big Ben can't stretch the field, he's still dinking dunks for like 300. You know what I mean? That's a lot of yards. People are piling, and we love this for fantasy because that means if we can get Claypool on some shorter A-dot passes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he could get some yak yards. I think he'll still be okay.
I'm saying.
And Deontay gets yak too. I mean, Deontay's gonna just juju us. He doesn't get.
They shouldn't rush Deontay back. They shouldn't rush him back.
No.
But you know what though? This is a big game. It's against the Pack. So you know what I mean? Like this is a really big game.
Yeah, they're gonna want him back. And a shout out to Pat Fryermuth, the rookie tight end, man. He might out Kyle Pitts is the best rookie tight end. Kyle Pitts has been shit so far. I mean, Fryermuth is looking like he's passed up Eric Ebron already as the starter there.
I dropped him in week 1 and then I picked him back up week 2.
You mean my man frying pan hands Ebron? Yeah, step aside.
Yeah,
the
see,
big
garbage.
Yeah,
fucking trash.
You know what's funny? Last year when they picked him up, right? Remember, he was one of the guys that was vocal about because remember teams had to quarantine as teams, right? So he's like, man, I can't even see my wife. I can't make love to her. I was like, I love how you threw that out there. You're right, Eric. You're right, frying pan hands. You know what I mean? That sucks.
Or you could be like the dudes in the NBA bubble. I forgot who it was. They was like sneaking out or sneaking women in or something. And they
remember the Seahawks?
That was the cat from the Seahawks. That's what it
QB.
was.
He tried to dress the broad up in the jersey and the pads. Like he put the pads on the jersey, the helmet. He tried to walk her through the lobby with him.
They didn't play. They called.
He's a return man.
He's our new kicker.
He's got DK's jersey on.
Little twig legs and shit. Not to say that females have twig legs, but I'm saying this one in particular because I've seen the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you didn't get you a beefy gal, then they might not notice.
Okay, well, you know what? Speaking of the Seahawks, what about that game, man? How y'all feel, man? Are we worried about Tyler Lockett or you know what I mean? Because Tyler Lockett blows up.
I knew this was gonna happen. That's Tyler Lockett, man. That's the story of his life. He's a pendulum, man. Don't trust that guy. DK is still the alpha there. DK is still the number one.
The damnedest thing about Tyler Lockett, though, is he's actually fairly consistent. It's just we're spoiled with these big games and we chase them.
Yeah, his season stats are consistent. He's actually
on a per game basis.
He's the poor man's Tyreek Hill. I mean, the Tyreek Hill does the same shit. I mean, except he has better season stats.
Except last year. Last year this is what I was fearful about Tyreek Hill too. Or Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's different though, because what's crazy about Tyler Lockett is his efficiency ties directly to Russell Wilson's efficiency because Russell Wilson was never at the top of the league on no pass attempts. You know what I mean? So everything he did was just efficient, you know what I mean, with his limited pass attempts. Right. So now with all that said, Tyreek Hill last year, that was one of the first years on a per game basis. He was legit. I think he was averaging like 9 or 10 targets a game. That's never happened in Tyreek Hill's career. You know what I'm saying? Before that, you know what I mean? Then look at the last 2 games. He had like 11 targets total. Something like that.
Yeah, he's kind of like scary. Yeah, kind of back to his old ways. And then Kelsey, I was saying this also. Give me Kelsey over Hill, and sure enough, Kelsey
averages 7 receptions a game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable
this year so far.
Yeah, he's
It's
just
not
like,
unbelievable. It's believable because if you were to remove the TE designation and put WR on him, he's a top 8, top 7 wide receiver every year. But he's just the guy that you put in your tight end.
top 5 wide receiver, or top 2. I mean, other than
Arguably,
Devontae Adams, who would you have drafted over Kelsey? Hill, Diggs? Actually, give me Kelsey because you get that TE next to him. You get that positional advantage. So yeah, I would say other than Adams, give me Kelsey. And whenever Rodgers was threatening retirement, I was thinking, well, shit, Kelsey might be the top overall tight end / receiver.
Y'all remember earlier who I was saying, Dalton Schultz or who?
The Dawson Knox.
Yeah, okay. I gotta make sure I claim him in one of my home leagues. I was like, I'm fooling around with Bob Tunyon in that league, and I'm like, I don't feel good about
Bob
that.
Tunyon. Yeah, Bob Tunyon. Yeah, but bumbling Bob Tunyon.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, he's
and
just too touchdown dependent.
And then Kirk Cousins, bro, is Kirk Cousins the new Russell Wilson? Because he's cooking like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and
he might be the new garbage time king. He seems like this kind of.
He's coming off a career year too. He always goes over 4th wow. This was what crazy about Kirk Cousins, and even Kirk Cousins was with McVay for a while. You know what I mean? Remember, this is where they all started. This is where McVay started with Shanahan too. They were all there at one point. They drafted RG3 and Cousins. It's Cousins. Yeah. He finally gets the gig, and when he gets the gig, the Shanahans are out the door. But they kept Sean McVay, and Sean McVay had him as a 4,900 yard passer, damn near 5,000 3 years in a row, right? So now he's averaging 4th wow every year with the Vikings, and last year he spikes from his normal 26, 27 passing TDs all the way up to 36. This is crazy. You know what I mean? And now he's picking it right where he left off because the defense is that bad. Like, Zimmer is a defensive-minded guy, and he's on the way out after this year because, they're killing it on offense because they're playing from behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the defense has not lived up to expectations, and that's on Zimmer, man. And they're not gonna probably win too many games with that formula. They need the defense to complement the offense, and so. But that's actually good for fantasy. Hey, let the defense be bad. Let the defense suck. I think Kirk Cousins could parlay that into a QB1 season potentially. I'm interested to see how he does this week though, because this week he gets the Browns. I mean, he was able to hold off the Cardinals, with Chandler Jones, but man, the Browns, Myles Garrett, that's a different animal, man. If he does well this week, I'm definitely
Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, who else is out there? Is Olivier Vernon still out there? They got a hell of people.
Oh yeah, they got hell of that defense is scary. So I think Kirk might come back to earth a little bit this week, but still though he's a guy you can. I mean, hey, he's been. For example, this week I started him over the likes of like Ryan Tannehill. I was like, dude, I'll go with Kirk Cousins.
Good.
I'm glad I did because he's been.
That's why you're the guru, bro.
The guru.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I saw a shootout coming there. I was like, I think Seattle, Minnesota. I was like, I think it's gonna be a lot of points. Russ didn't do quite as well as I was thinking, but yeah, Kirk and Jets Jefferson and Thielen and them boys.
I'm worried about Russ. But you know what though? Actually, I forget he's playing my Niners. We have a terrible secondary. This is gonna be a bounce back game for him. But no, I'm serious. Yeah, and I'm hoping that it works as a reverse jinx too, because fuck them. You know what I mean? But this is definitely a bounce back game for him in fantasy and reality too.
Hey, reality. Let's segue into the Denver and the Jets game, 26-0.
Oh, yeah, I'll be right back. I'll be another beer. That's what.
We're just gonna say shellacking, and I feel bad for Zach Wilson because look at the defenses he played so far. He played Carolina, and he played well against, or well for a debut, because Carolina is the top 2 defense right now.
Right.
I mean, week 2 he plays the Patriots. What do? Historically destroy rookies, right? They do that. Then week 3 he plays Denver, who's a top 2 defense. So it's kind of hard to call it for this kid. I feel bad for him. And even going a call back to Trevor Lawrence take, I wanted to say is that what's sad with Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson is that they're on bad teams already. then you add on their rookies with rookie head coaches. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. I mean, I don't know. I think Zach Wilson's NFL ready for sure. He's in an unfortunate circumstance. And same thing with Trevor
For
Lawrence.
now.
Yeah, for now.
It'll get better. How long it takes, I don't know. But it's what it is for the first 3 weeks for young Zach Wilson.
In my opinion, you can pretty much bank on Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence getting an early first-round rookie next year as well. So you got that to look forward to, I guess.
Probably be a lineman. That's what they finna do.
Probably because they both. Well,
because also Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur over there, the OC. You know, if he has any kind of Shanahan in him, because you know what I'm saying, that he's from that coaching family tree, he just came from my Niners. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, oh, this Elijah Moore and all these. They're always big on players that like people are like, oh, okay. Like you remember last year, they go and the 49ers select wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. You know what I said? Who the fuck is that? Right? But he's a baller. You know what I mean? So, but there's also been times where like, and the 49ers select Jalen Hurd, wide receiver / running back, whatever the fuck.
Right.
That shit didn't work. Dante Pettis, like I can go on where like they get big on these guys and they don't pan out. You know what I mean? So let's just hope their hit rate, they get some luck with their hit rate. You know what I mean? Because for what it's worth, the Browns. Look how long it took for the Browns to turn around. They literally had to lose every year to get Myles Garrett and then get Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward in that same draft. And, you know, and then trade for OBJ and, you know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, pick up Jarvis Landry in free agency. And I think they traded for him, actually. They traded for Jarvis, then they traded for OBJ. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the team that then they bring in Kevin Stefanski. And then not only that, they're like, man, we're about to run like a motherfucker now. Let's bring in Jack Conklin. Then let's draft Jedrick Wills. Like,
it's been snowball, and it's been a positive snowball there, I'd say. Yeah, that's great. You love to see it. You love to see rebuilding done right. And after all these years, they finally did it right. So I'm guessing y'all are alluding to the Jets as far as it's going to be a while for them.
Yeah.
I like Robert Saleh. I'll say that. I'm hoping that hopefully Wilson can start to pick up, because I don't think it's Saleh's fault. It's just he has nothing to work with right now.
Nothing.
Well, you know what I was saying, Spencer? I was calling back to Trevor Lawrence earlier. It's not these kids' fault that they're
throwing them in the fire.
But also because not only are they rookie QBs on bad teams to begin with, right? That needed everything. They need everything. They also have not just a rookie starting QB, they have rookie head coaches. You know what I mean?
Yep. Starting completely over. Yeah. Total rebuilding project. Yeah, and people wondering why they're off to such bad starts. It's like, because I mean, if you completely retool everything like that at the NFL level, you're gonna get smacked in the mouth, especially early on. I mean, this is a league that it takes years and years to build shit up. I mean, it don't happen overnight. So I'm not.
Were you guys Javonte Williams guys like me?
Oh yeah. I have multiple shares. I'm kind of concerned. I'm a little concerned.
You know, I'm not that concerned. I think we're living in a day and age where everyone has these 1-2 punch rushing attacks.
True.
And like he had multiple goal line carries. He only got in one time, and then another time he fumbled.
Yeah, and it's just, and we all know it's hard. You can't trust Melvin Gordon long term.
You know what? I'm waiting for Melvin Gordon. Here's the thing: with Melvin Gordon, can't carry a load, he gets injured. That was always his deal. But now he's sharing, and I'm like, damn it, it's going to take him a while to get hurt now.
Yeah, I'll say it might be a little while. It might kind of be like Jonathan Taylor last year. I think Javonte will be similar. The first few weeks last year, the first half of last year, I'm pretty sure Taylor was not good. Like I was saying, they had Swift over Taylor, and it did in the second half. Taylor got going, but the first half was really rough for JT owners. I think it might be.
It was rough on the usage. Javonte. It was rough on the usage, but like week one was funny because. You know the way coaches work, man. Like they go into week one, Marlon Mack is their starter, quote unquote. He goes down early in that game. So they're like, all right. And then they use Naeem Hines in special teams too. So they're like, all right, it's pretty much going to be majority you, JT. So that week one against the Jags last year, which they lost, right? That was it. And then we didn't see that workload until like midseason, like you said. Like it was like what the fuck? Like
yeah. I think
really
Javonte, Javonte's as long as Gordon's keeps being this efficient, they're gonna go with the more efficient runner.
Okay, this week, and I'm asking for a friend because this is like one of my things I'm mulling over. Trey Sermon or Javonte. So we have Trey Sermon playing against the Seahawks, who everybody is running on.
Right.
Everybody. It wasn't just Derrick Henry because he's Derrick Henry. But then when you get Alexander Madison running all over you, because Alexander Madison is not that great. Let's be honest.
But he looked like a fucking stud.
He looked like baby Cook.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah, he did. It was like no different. Imagine what Cook would have done on them. Holy shit.
Exactamundo. So I'm and for what it's worth, Javonte is gonna share with Melvin Gordon and play against the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the Lions guys shared and did pretty well against the Ravens this week. But
I also want to throw in goddamn Cordell Patterson in that mix too. Those three, I'm trying to figure out who the fuck to flex.
Shit, yeah, honestly, I'd probably Cordell in PPR.
You know what's crazy? I want to say something. I'm really fucking upset about this shit because I did a last minute swap in one of my coveted leagues. It's called Nice Guys Finish Last. Our moniker is the NFL. Nice Guys is hyphenated, right? So Nice Guys Finish Last. Monarchy is the NFL. Our mantra is it's right. Our monarchy is Nice Guys Finish Last, champions finish on her face, right? That's our monarchy. But so with that said, I've only reigned supreme 1 year. I'm always one of the big dogs. The last couple of years, I've been a like a little wiener dog, and like I have a hell of a team. And this week I made a last minute swap that cost me. I threw in Darnell Mooney. And I had Cordell Patterson in there because he could put him in the wide receiver spot. And it's a 3 wide receiver league. I had Antonio Brown. He had the COVID. So now I'm trying. And then this is what fucked me up. This is where analytics fucked me up because I'm a stickler. You guys know me. And like I actually amaze myself because I'm a stickler for these analytics. I dig and dig. Shit, PFF give me money. You know what I mean? All the free joints, fucking Pro Football Reference. I know Spencer loves that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I love it all.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I'm like, okay, in the first 2 weeks, the Browns defense is giving it up to the slot receiver. Darnell Mooney is playing a lot of his snaps in the slot. Oh, I think that's a formula for success. And I swap him out early in that fucking morning. Ooh. And that cost me because then he puts up 19 in a PPR versus goddamn a whopping 1.8.
Early morning swaps at horse. Man, I had the same thing happen in a league. Luckily, it didn't cost me. I freaking swapped out at the last minute Tyson Williams for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I was like,
I'm on record all week last week, like buy Clyde, start Clyde. If you have Clyde, start him. And then if you're disgruntled, then sell him because this is the game.
Yeah, luckily it didn't cost me, but yeah, it was the game. And then I was like, well, Tyson, he gets Detroit. I was like, the Chiefs in charge. That's probably going to just be all passing.
And then Greg Roman's doing. See, this is why I'm a stickler for chasing the coaches, because coaches do the same thing. Coaches install systems. Coaches have ideologies. The ideology is the most important thing that doesn't change. You know what Greg Roman's ideology is that when they start to figure us out, we're going to switch it up. They won't see it coming, right?
yeah.
And they did this with Kaepernick. Didn't work. Then how about this? It worked. It worked when they had Tyrod Taylor because Greg Roman was over there with the Buffalo Bills, got them into the playoffs, right? And then the next year they ship him off. He goes to fucking Baltimore. He's a fucking offensive head coach.
Yeah, head coach MVP. Assistant.
He was like an assistant. That was the year they drafted him.
Oh, okay. He was the assistant 19 and became OC.
He took over the OC role. And I was that year, I was like, everybody grab Mark Andrews because this system he's about to install is gonna fuck with the tight end because Vernon Davis was the guy. Delaney Walker was a guy. Even with the Bills, Charles Clay had moments.
Yeah, Charles Clay. God,
this is why anyone watching and anyone out there in the world, bro, chase the coordinators and the coaches, understand them because once you know what they want to do, you'll be able to see the players and the personnel they have and be like, that guy's gonna eat because this.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We need to do a chart on that. This going on in the off season. We need to track all the OC changes and like.
I do this.
Yeah, we need to do like episodes. We need to do episodes about that because that's a huge thing, and that's something I study it some, but like not as much as I should because you're right, man. That's a big aspect. I mean, it's not always true, but it rings true more times than it doesn't. Like these guys, if you study their tendencies, a lot of times that can really help you for fantasy.
Buy low on James Robinson. He probably can't because he had a big game, but I was telling people last week because they have Darrell Bevell there. Darrell Bevell has had the likes of Adrian Peterson. He's had the likes of Marshawn Lynch.
Oh yeah, he was in Seattle, right?
And then he from Seattle he goes to Detroit. So I was really fucking big on Kerryon Johnson, but Kerryon Johnson just cannot.
I know, man. I love Kerryon too.
Because the coordinator was there. The coordinator was there. You know what I mean? Like that. So now he's over there. Why do you think they brought over Marvin Jones? Marvin Jones ate like shit for years.
But he's eating in Jacksonville. I mean, he's doing a lot better than DJ Chark. Yeah, he is their number one. He definitely.
I'm mad because I have a ton. You know what's funny? I have a ton of Vishka, and I have a Vishka Marvin Jones Jr. teams where I have both of them. And
I have a Chark Marvin Jones Jr. team, and I feel much better about Jones.
And I here's why I've been fucking me. I kept throwing LaVishka.
I went Chark early. I mean, he's been bailed up by touchdowns.
He's getting touchdowns.
Jones has been better. Yeah, Jones is the guy to own there. Yeah, he is. Man, Marvin Jones just steady Eddie. He's one of those steady Eddies. As long as he's healthy, he'll produce.
Jones Jr. is awesome, bro. Like that's a
he
guy
really is. He's had a nice career. He's put together a nice career and playing with shit teams. Man, he played with the Bungles, the Lions, the Jags. He's played with all the freaking worst teams. I kind of hope at the end of his career.
He started with the Bengals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like,
when he was with the Bengals, they were actually a playoff team. They just never could win.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, maybe the Bengals weren't quite the Bungles when he was there. Yeah, because he started. That was back when they had fucking AJ Green and shit. Like they were, and Boyd was just coming in. Like it was like
Boyd wasn't even there yet.
Oh, he wasn't there. Who was the other guy? They had Green and somebody.
It was Muhammad.
Oh, Sanu. Yeah, Sanu was pretty good back. Yeah, Muhammad Sanu.
He was awesome.
Okay. He was the Boyd before Boyd. But okay.
Yeah, because he's like predominantly the slot guy. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the three of them. Yep. Okay. Yeah, jogging my memory here. Yeah. Marvin Jones.
They ran like a lot of pass plays with Sanu over there too. They did a bunch of trickery.
Yeah, because he was a former QB and shit.
Yeah.
I think if someone look this up, this is awesome. Someone look up Sanu's. I think he has only had one incompletion in the NFL, and he has a couple TDs. Look up his quarterback.
That's the whole Pro Football Reference. Yeah, his passing if they have it. I don't know. Yeah, they have his receipt. I don't know if did they have passing there? Let's see. Yeah, he's oh no, that's his game log. Okay, yeah, he's shit. Oh, passing. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, he's 7 of 8 career as a passer. Yep. Goddamn Sanu. And then as soon as Bogard's gone.
Yeah, right. I was looking at Sanu's stats.
Yeah, I was saying old handy dandy Pro Football Reference. PFR, give me money. That site is awesome, man.
Yeah,
that is my go-to site. Them in the old. I still call it Roto World, man. I'm not on board with the new name. Roto World, give me money. I'm still fucking with Roto World.
Next game. Rams beat Tampa Bay 34-24.
Yeah, buddy. Brady, sit your ass down. Man, did y'all see Brady pouting on the bench after that game?
Yeah.
Or he was like, he was crying, man. I hate I'm not wanting to pull for Belichick, but this week, you best believe I'm going to be pulling for Bill and his dog and all them boys in New England because we beat them. It's like, all right, New England, we got y'all. All right, y'all go handle business for it. Y'all, we need y'all's help now. Like we beat y'all, and now we need y'all's help. So y'all go ahead, beat up on Brady. That would be awesome. But I'd say before we try to slander Brady too much, they did have a pretty good game. I mean, he actually had a really good statistical outing. Big ups to Matthew Stafford, man. That was awesome to see it, man. We were talking about Stafford, remember week 1, saying how awesome it was to see him perform well. And this offseason, man, I always go back to it, the fact that the Rams won the offseason by getting Matthew Stafford, because that's really all they needed. They didn't need a bunch of other shit. They just needed that one dude. Then they got him, and now they're 3-0 and beating the defending champions. So they are. I mean, they peeking through.
This podcast is brought to you by DiGiorno's. DiGiorno, give me money.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
When you're doing podcasts and you're having a few drinks with your best pals, you pop in a DiGiorno, with the rising crust.
I was gonna say you got the rising crust on that.
And it's the cheese stuffed rising crust. Listen, DiGiorno, give me money.
Right? Yeah, we're just saying Matthew Stafford, give me money. Holy shit, because we just transitioned into now he's gone again.
Yeah, he's gone again.
Man, I don't know because I know he loved Matt Stafford, because that was that episode with when y'all did the My Version Better with Stafford. Right.
No, what were you saying?
Oh, I think about Matthew Stafford give me money, man. He's been on an MVP pace so far to start.
We called this.
Yeah, we called this back in February or March, whenever this went down.
You actually jumped in the comments and you're like,
oh,
the Rams.
The Rams won the offseason.
Like, yep.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Got it right.
That's all they.
Don't even get me started on why I voted for the Patriots. That's an off-air conversation.
We'll just next on that. But yeah.
Some bullshit. It was rigged.
Yeah, well, I had to jump in and save the day. I had to make things right and get the Rams over the top. Oh yeah, man, I had to do it.
I appreciate you. That's why
I had to do it because we brought that up when we talked about the Patriots. How those guys, sure enough, they're shitting. Jonnu Smith with blah 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 blah. Picked off. Now everyone's blaming Mac Jones. It wasn't even Mac's fault, man. That was all Jonnu. They're a $50 million tight end. Can't even catch a ball. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. Anytime Tom Brady goes down, we all know this, and anyone that frequently listens to my stuff, we all know Tom Brady goes down. It's a fucking party at the crib because I love watching Tom Brady lose. God, do I love it.
Boy, see it. Like we just said, Bogard, whenever Bogard comes out and bringing up this about Tom Brady, man, when he loses, boy, you can see it gets to him. I mean, he is the ultimate competitor. You gotta be to be that successful. But it's just awesome seeing him lose because, like, you would think I almost say like he is like the GOAT and all that as far as that, but he doesn't handle losing well, though. I'll say that he doesn't handle losing well. You'd think he could handle it better, but he doesn't. Man, Peyton Manning and Drew Brees handle it a lot better than Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady got spoiled. He rode the coattails of Belichick all those years. That's why I'm really hoping that the Patriots humble him Sunday night.
I beg to differ.
Go ahead.
It was like a symbiotic thing, but I think
Simpatico.
So how about this? I'd say it's a more parasitic host type relationship. I think that Belichick is a parasite, and the host was Brady, because Brady's phenomenal. Brady went to Uncle Bruce and got one. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah,
since they split, it was like it's like a Cold War between the two, and this is the first time they're gonna meet each other, opposite sides. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly. But to be fair to, Uncle Bruce had a lot of talent. I mean, look at that defense. They had all the weapons. I mean, you could make a case that Brady's the parasite hopping from the Patriots was falling apart, and then he hops to the Bucks since they had all the great gets Gronk with him. You know
what's funny is I want to argue this because I actually love Brady. I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
like Brady grew up a Niner. So when my Niners were bad, I loved rooting for Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady because they both come from Northern Cali, and they both grew up Niner fans, and their heroes are my heroes. Jerry Rice, Steve Young, Joe Montana. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I root for these motherfuckers. Like, yo, have you heard the story about the catch?
Oh, with Tom Brady? Clark? Oh,
yeah. So Tom Brady was a kid.
Yeah.
He was a kid with his dad. And mind you, whether this is a lie or embellished, like he was definitely in the building though, because his dad is vouched for this. But the thing is, they were in the end zone, sitting there, and they saw the catch. And he said he turns to his dad and says, "That's what I want to do, Dad." First of all, if that story is bullshit or not, I want to believe it because that is fucking amazing. He is a kid seeing Joe Montana, and he's like, "I want to do this." And he's better. His legacy is greater than Joe Montana. Joe Montana to me is the GOAT because he's undefeated. He's like Michael Jackson. He's like Michael Jordan. They never lost. They never lost the big one
too, for sure.
They never lost the big one. Tom Brady and LeBron and guys like that, they've lost the big one before. Kobe. But I'm just saying though, like that's what there's something special about never losing. But still though, he definitely outdid him in totals. 7
Yeah, so yeah, he's been to more big ones. It's like, hey, man, I lost him. Hey, he's been to more.
What is he? 7 out of 10?
Yeah, like 7 and 3. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, you couldn't have been the 10 big ones if you don't have good support around you. I mean, just look at Drew Brees, Dan Marino. I mean, even Peyton Manning.
Hold on, I want to argue.
I
want to argue. Outside of like the Randy Moss years and the Gronk years, Wes Welker, outside of Gronk and Randy Moss, like Brady made these guys household names.
You're right. I mean? Yeah, he didn't have a whole lot of weapons on offense. I mean, like the whole picture, like defense and special teams factored in. The Patriots always had defense and special teams.
And Sean Payton was always good at bringing Drew Brees some weaponry. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just the Saints defense, though. Saints defense would always fuck us, man. In the playoffs, we'd always give up the big play. That's why we could never get over the hump most of the years because our
2017 was the year, though. 2017, they changed all that, and it directly correlated with Drew Brees not being a 5,000-yard passer anymore. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees, the Saints being, one of the more rushing teams, leading the league. Leading the league in rushing.
Yeah, we had some really good teams these past few years. It's just the problem was in the playoffs, the defense would always give up a big play, like the whiff on Stephon Diggs in 2017. The goddamn no call in 18-19, the Kyle Rudolph overtime touchdown. And last year against Brady, we couldn't stop him. It's just we gave up. Our defense was solid the past few years, but we gave up big plays at the worst times. And it just, and again, I'm not trying to knock Brady. He's arguably the greatest to ever do it. It's just, I will say though, it's a lot closer than most people want to act like. Most people want to, just because he's got, 7 now, that he's automatically the GOAT. But with Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, they're right up there with him.
I say Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT because Aaron Rodgers skill-wise. Bro, Andrew Luck is always going to be my forever what if.
Exactly.
I saw Andrew Luck in the Bay. I'm from the Bay. I saw him at Stanford. I was like, this kid's going to be the shit. And then it took them years to build that offensive line, but he took so much wear and tear that when they finally had the offensive line, he only played behind them 1 year. And you know what's crazy? He lost to the Chiefs that year. You know what I mean? Like I thought we were going to see Andrew Luck and
Mahomes
and Jackson and Josh Allen. This was supposed to be even Ryan Tannehill. I'll throw him in that mix too. Like we got some hitters like these Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. He's next in line. Like, Burrow and Lawrence, if they pan out.
Lawrence, like this.
They got some heavyweight fighters, man.
Andrew Luck was a guy, bro. Like, man,
he was such a guy, and he was a really humble guy at that. Like,
I just want to say that the line was really good today, and my guys up front, all credit to them. Like, he just always giving credit to everyone. And you know what's sad? They booed his ass when he announced.
Yeah, that was sad. Yeah, that was sad.
It was a preseason game. I remember this shit. It was a preseason game.
Yeah,
and he showed up to the game in regular clothes, and he wasn't gonna play the game, but you know what I'm saying, like normally you wear like warm-ups or whatever. He showed up in regular clothes, and he went up to the sideline while they're playing, and then the team ones at the time, because I was like Brissett, it was in there, and he's like told Brissett, this is your team now. You know what I mean? He's like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, and then he announced it, and then like there was already people that's already going around on the internet. And then they saw him out there and they started booing him, bro. It's like, come on. That
that's
was like
bullshit. That's a low. Like that's a low. I mean, because he didn't quite get y'all to the Super Bowl, but he brought y'all a lot of success. And I mean,
it took Brady and them to cheat. You know what I mean?
That's another thing with fucking Brady, man. All the scandals surrounding him, Spygate, the Fleetgate. I mean, fuck Brady, bro.
Hold on,
That's
man.
my take. Fuck
Brady got it right,
fuck
bro.
Tom Brady.
Brady got it right, bro. We got to eat more avocados, bro. Show me an avocado right now. I bet you you ain't even got one in the house.
No, I do not.
I don't have any either, but I'm just saying like, we need avocados, bro. Because that's
the TB12 diet. He's selling it. That's his brand, the TB12 diet. So he could really this miracle thing. Yeah, we'll see.
Full of avocado.
Speaking of that, I read a lot of reviews on it. A lot of them were negative. A lot of people said it is way overpriced. A lot of people are like, this is overpriced. This ain't what it's hyped up to be. Just saying.
Listen, man, mine is the TB 12 and a half plan. You know what I'm saying? It's the totally Bogard 12 and a half plan. Bro, all you gotta do is eat avocados and listen, I sell it for $5, bro. The plan, it ain't nothing.
Better than the TV12 plan. Yeah, I'll go with TV 12 and a half. Yeah, I'll go with the 12 and a half. Sign me up. You got your first customer.
All right. So I'm just gonna bring this up. So because I fucking hate Tom Brady. So I'm looking here. Tom Brady's first start was 2001. If we go back and look, all right. So the Patriots, let's see, 2001 Patriots. Wide receiver wise, he had Troy Brown, David Patton. Troy Brown had almost 1,200 yards, 1,199 yards, 5 touchdowns. David Patton had 749.
Yeah, but what was Brady throwing for? Like 3,500?
28, 40.
Exactly.
But
so
he didn't play the whole game, or he didn't play the whole season. He only had 14 starts.
Yeah, and guess what? I remember those names when you brought them up, but I swear when they were relevant, I was like, who the fuck is that guy? They're relevant because he made them relevant.
It was Deion Branch was the one from that was like the hero back in the day.
Hustler said something really legit earlier. He said, I
Deion
feel
Branch
like Belichick. He said,
yeah.
He was like, I feel like Belichick is still holding on to the old style. And same thing with Josh McDaniels there. You know what I mean? Like they're holding on to the old style. Like they're like, okay, he's gonna do what Brady did. No, they should adjust to what Mac Jones does best. You know what I mean? They should holler at his homeboy, Nick Saban, and be like, yo, what do we gotta do with this kid? Because he's a good passer, but they're trying to implicate that Tom Brady-esque, get it out quick. All the personnel is all like, shifty slot guys or like tight ends. And I mean, it's not Brady.
Yeah, the personnel in Alabama was more like deeper guys, like Devontae Smith, Jalen, a lot of more field stretchers.
Check this out, JJ Taylor. Pick them up. Why everyone's like gonna blow their hey, how about this? How much fab you got in your league right now, Spencer?
Oh, I've probably about half. I spent half of it on Taylor Heineke because I needed a QB.
65. I have 65, and I'm
trying
to
buy 49.
I'm spending it all on Chuba.
I ain't even gonna waste the move on him.
No, I'm gonna do it because that's how hurt I am over there.
I saw that. I was like, man, Bogard seems kind of hurt. And I was like, you need to hope he can pull off the dub against Clock. And mine, like, we're both. You did, yeah. Shout out again to give me money. I see.
Listen, bro. You know what's sad? Last year in your league, I thought I was already out, and then I played Clock in week 13, and Winter got in, and he beat me.
Yeah, I remember that. I had a chance too. I remember because both.
I didn't fucking know this. I had a terrible year.
Yeah, I did too. But we both had a chance at the end. We just kept clawing, and we had a chance at it, and then Clock snuck in over us. I remember.
But here's the thing, though, is it was one of those things. I left Jimmy in or something. Like I gave up.
Oh, yeah. I remember I had the same shit. I didn't give up, but I forgot to do something.
I just forgot. I mean,
I forgot too. I had left somebody in. I was like, son of a bitch. It was like somebody that had heard on a Thursday or some shit. It pissed me off. It wouldn't have made a difference, but it was just like, shit.
Bro, I've been doing my waivers Mondays now because I have 21 of these motherfuckers that I need to pay attention to, like do things for. You know what I mean? So it's like, like this is like nuts. But it actually is like going well.
Yeah, actually, I need to finish. Oh, I did a few waivers earlier, but I need to finish that up after the show because, like, I mean, I'm not quite as many as you. I'm in 13, but like, I need to see for the all in. The thing is, though, I'm 1-2, but I really like my team. I'm a hard luck 1-2. I could easily be 3-0, man. My team is stacked in that league. I feel like I got Russ and Heineke. My QBs are like all right, but the rest of my team's really nice. I got Eckler, King Henry. So I've got arguably two top 5 running backs. Then I've got Keenan Allen and Godwin, and Waddle's done well. Hawkinson. I mean, I got guys in that league. Got Naheem Hines on the bench. He's been killing it, man. If I would have won this week if I'd have played Naheem Hines over stupid Tyson Williams. Man, Mike Tyson killed.
You know what sucks, man, is that Mike Tyson got knocked out in that one year.
Exactly. Like, he got knocked by the fucking Lions. Like
Naheem Hines. There's a big tell here in the beginning of the year because first of all, now they're trying to trade. Marlon Mack was a healthy scratch. Now they're trying.
Yeah, that should have been a tell. I should have looked into that. Yeah.
And here's an even bigger tell. In the beginning of the year, they made it a point to announce him as the number 2 running back. It's like he's already paid more than Taylor. They extended him. So at the same time, it's like we know this, but it's like it's all about labeling them. You know what I mean? Because this is like this is how coaches tell us things. And we're living in a day and age where there's only a small handful of running backs that get it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone's sharing.
Not many Henrys out there.
Like, you know what sucks? That's where I fucked me up on Sunday. I learned the hard way. I'm like, you know what? I swap out Cordell Patterson because I'm like, you know what? I need a negative game script. But at the same time, like, they're probably gonna be a negative game script. It doesn't matter if he's a second QB. This is the same way like Chubb can eat and so can Hunt. You know, it's the same, everyone has poor man versions of that. That's why the Raiders brought in Drake. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I did a thing this offseason on the top 5 running back duos, and I had Taylor and Hines in my top 5. And I feel like they were right up there. I'm trying to think who. Yeah, Chubb and Hunt were first. And J-Rob and Etienne, man, that would have been such a sick duo, man. That sucks that Etienne got hurt. But yeah, honestly, Hines and Taylor might be the second best duo because I thought Jones and A.J. Dillon would be nice, but A.J. Dillon hadn't really carved out much of a role there yet. So I think Hines and Taylor pretty sick.
A.J. Dillon's getting in there where it's annoying for Aaron Jones owners. Like after, I'm judging this on the game against the Niners. Like A.J. Dillon was in there like a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, like Jamal Williams used to be in there like a motherfucker. That's why I was thinking A.J. Dillon was gonna do more, but maybe he will as the year goes on because the Packers just they believe in share and they don't give Aaron Jones all the carry. That's why he's a top 10 running back, but I just don't see him being
here's the thing, the offense is so good. He literally finishes 5 overall. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he comes close to top 5. He's just not very consistent.
No. He finished top 5 in the PBR last year and he missed time. He was number 5.
Really?
But it also was a world without CMC and Saquon.
Yeah, it was a weird pandemic. Yeah, and then the year before he was top 5. So I don't know. This year though, this year I don't think he quite gets there, but he'll be top 10. He'll be top 10.
But 17 games gives us a different so now we're far off into like the regular season, right? We're in week 4 now. Right before a 16-week season used to be split up into fourths, right? So now with that said, we're going into week 4, but it's like anything that was bum week 1 or 2, we could just chuck that for the L because we were used to having 16 weeks anyway, right? So you could look at it like that. Like Aaron Jones, this is where I get worried because we have one bad Aaron Jones game week 1, then we have another one at least scored a touchdown, but the usage is not there. You know what I'm saying? But we should be used to this. Look at people were panicking on Zeke. Yes, Tony Pollard's going to get in there, but that should be viewed as this preserves our Zeke shares for 17 weeks. This is what I was telling people last year about Nick Chubb. I said, don't be afraid of Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Kareem Hunt exists. He exists to not only contribute, but he exists to keep our Nick Chubb steady for 16 weeks. In this case, 17 now. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, the Panthers probably should have worked in a little more Chuba Hubbard the first 2 weeks to preserve their Christian McCaffrey.
I have a theory on Chuba Hubbard or just any rookies. last year was like a weird type of COVID year for college, like shortened type of year.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
So a lot of these,
too,
and then they jump right into the fucking pros now.
Yeah,
like the learning curve is going to be more vast.
Yeah, exactly.
More not vast, more wide. There you go.
Yeah, except some guys are like, it seems like guys like Jamar Chase, like guys that are just like freaks like that.
He played with his
and
man.
Yeah, true. That's a great chemistry. He already had the chemistry. Yeah,
trust, all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the exception, not the norm. Yeah, a lot of rookies are struggling. You know, like Kyle Pitts and all the quarterbacks. So
Trey Sermon.
Yeah,
my Niners.
Yeah, Jalen
Najee Harris is different though.
Well. Najee Harris.
That's different. Yeah. He's dealing with a bad offensive line and a quarterback. That's like, you know what I mean? Like no one needs to they don't need to not stack the box. You know what I mean? Like they don't respect Big Ben stretching the field right now.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, he gets all the check down. So for PPR, he's still rock solid.
Love it.
Let's bounce over. I want to say one more thing that I was getting to on my Tom Brady rant. Let's not forget Tom Brady's first start was in 2001, and he had Randy Moss and Wes Welker from 2007 until roughly 20.
He had the greatest season in modern history. Not only did they, because he went undefeated in this. That's the last undefeated season. Listen, the MVP led Cam Newton team. They won 15 straight and then lost to the Falcons, led by Dan Quinn and Shanahan. And next year they had the MVP and went to the Super Bowl. That was because that was a new coaching regime in 2015, trying to get it all together. Rookie head coach Dan Quinn, shit like that. But they stopped them because if not. Because they went on to beat everything else. They went 15-1 that year. You know what I mean? And they went all the way to week 15. So for Tom Brady to have the last perfect season, like the perfect season with the Dolphins, not only did they stay perfect, they went all the way and won it. It was still 14-week season. So the extra 2 games and then winning all the playoffs, and then that matters. But man, this is why the definition of destiny is what it is, because Eli Manning had destiny.
Yeah, I was about to say he wrecked that perfect
season. He had destiny.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing when Peyton Manning had his greatest statistical season ever.
Yeah.
In was it 2013 or 14? They got wrecked by Seattle. They wrecked him. And same thing. You're right. Yeah, same thing with Drew Brees. Drew Brees' top statistical season was 2011. Drew Brees is 2011. I'll put up against any statistical season. I'd say it's better than Brady's 07, better than Manning's 13. Some people want to argue with me and say it's biased because I'm a Saints fan, but when you look at the numbers, pound for pound, 2011 Drew Brees was the greatest. But anyway, let the sponsor
that we want to shout out is Lunchables. Everyone remembers these.
Yeah,
I'm about to have this drunk snack, which is also great for adults. Y'all thought it was just for kids. When you're drunk and you're waiting for a pizza, you can have a Lunchable.
Right?
Lunchable, give me money.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
shit. Yes, next up, Los Angeles Chargers upset the Chiefs 30-24.
I called this one last week. I called that. I called it last week.
I'm calling it upset.
You call it upset?
Yeah, I called this upset.
Okay.
No, this is a good team. I think they were even
right. I agree with you. But I'm going with everyone else. I'm going with what a lot of people thought.
I think the Chargers are a more complete team than the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's what was kind of my logic going in. I was like, Chiefs were big favorites. But I was like, I could see the Chargers pulling this off. I'm picking them as my upset of the week, and sure enough, here we go. I mean, they showed they finally are putting it together. It's so great to see because over the years, it's like, oh, the Chargers, they're going to charger it up. It's like, look at week 2, week 2. I don't even really say they charged it up. The referees screwed them. And then this week, sure enough, they come out, take down the runner-ups and the Chiefs and Mahomes and all that. So, yeah, they Chargers are legit. That division is a gauntlet. That division is both West divisions are fucking brutal.
Yes, the West is a gauntlet. How about this? It's a tell that you might be in a little bit of trouble when you're actually signing Josh Gordon, because you're like, man, We need more weapons.
Oh yeah, they
Like,
do. Yeah, outside of
You're
Hill
trying
and
to depend
Kelsey,
on
they ain't
Miko
got much.
Hardman. I love Miko Hardman, but I never loved him in fantasy. In reality, I loved him because he was a guy. He's like a extremely poor man's version of Tyreek Hill. He can run 4.4, not 4.3, right? But he runs 4.4, and he's a decent route runner, right? But Allen Robinson, Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle,
Yeah, Pringle, yeah.
like yo, you need like
Pringle, give me money.
I have Josh Gordon in a lot of spots. As soon as he got reinstated, I just picked him up because just a speculative grab in a lot of spots, and he got signed to the Chiefs. And of course, in true Bogard fashion, I'm trying to trade him to everyone, right?
Yeah, I think because he'll probably play like the Sammy Watkins role.
If you can sit on him, exactly. If you can sit on him, especially in deeper leagues, by October he will be relevant. Like not by October, by late October, he will be relevant because you're not going to be able to double and triple team Tyreek Hill anymore. Because
when you had Sammy Watkins last year, when they had Watkins, Tyreek Hill was able to eat more consistently.
Exactamundo.
Yep. Yeah. So if Gordon's healthy, which Watkins, that was always Watkins' problem, staying healthy. If Gordon can stay healthy,
I took Sammy Watkins last year
and play that Sammy Watkins role of just you don't have to be the alpha male. You just gotta be productive as like that third option.
This is what I fear for Josh Gordon is that like in fantasy, this is what I fear is because this is why I'm trying to trade him in package deals because he's probably not going to be worth starting in fantasy. But in reality, he'll do what Sammy Watkins did, is open it up for Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? Because like Sammy Watkins, Flash Gordon is like 6'4", 6'4", I think he is. 6'3",
he's a physical specimen.
Yeah. Because Sammy Watkins is 6'4". Somebody check me on that.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Sammy. Yeah, he's a big dude. You can check
Sleeper. It'll tell you the height real fast.
Oh, he actually has 6'1", 6'1", actually.
Who is Sammy?
Yeah.
Okay. What is
6'3"?
Yeah. What's Josh?
He's 6'3". There it is.
Well, he might be an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'3", 225.
You need a matchup nightmare in the red zone. You need a guy who could like.
He might be an upgrade. Yeah, Watkins didn't score many touchdowns. I mean, he took attention away from Hill, but he wasn't like really a red zone guy.
He's 6'3", 220.
Yeah, I think that's part of why Tyreek Hill scored so many touchdowns. And they didn't really have any of that. Actually, Josh Gordon might cause Tyreek Hill's touchdowns to drop slightly. I'm not saying he's going to fall off a cliff, but Josh Gordon could be a sneaky pest kind of guy, but
he ran a 4.52. I didn't know that.
It's hard for me to trust him though, considering he's been so unreliable over the years.
I mean, yeah.
I would if you can package him, go right ahead. He might have some boom weeks, but yeah, he might not be the best to package him now because a lot of people are probably skeptical with it. You hold him a few weeks and he has these blow up week. You know how those Chiefs guys like Demarcus Robinson will have his blow up. Mecole Hardman will blow up sometime. I think once Gordon has that week, the hype changes and go, ooh, Flash Gordon, he's back. He's with my old.
Yeah, right.
Then that's when you package him. That's when you ship him off. And then you just wait for him to come back to earth and laugh as you just acquired a rock solid flex. And then someone else having to deal with the headache of Josh Gordon's going from 20 points to 2.
And that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah, I was smart. Yeah, I know you're in a lot of those deep leagues, Bogard. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna bother with him if you're in those
deeper leagues. The deeper leagues, you can have these conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, deep conversations for deep leagues. Oh yeah.
Next game up, Tennessee beats Indianapolis 25-16. This is a weird one.
Yeah, I was about to say this game was just kind of a dud for both. I mean, AJ Brown got hurt. It's like, fuck, man. I was like, AJ Brown, man. I have a league, my deepest league, 14-man league. Actually, I have lost CMC and AJ Brown. I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, what am I gonna do? Luckily, my bench is deep. I have Mike Williams, Odell coming back, so I won't be too up against it. But it's just, this was a rough one, man. Julio got banged up. AJ Brown I mean, really, the only constant in this that did good was King Henry. I mean, King Henry, of course, did his thing, but we all know that's going to happen. It's just
going to happen.
everything else here. I mean,
at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Tannehill wasn't too great. Wentz sucked. The tight end sucked. I mean, this is just a kind of a blah one.
I know. That one's like the numbers.
Not much to say.
Yeah, the numbers tell a story on that one.
Yeah, Michael Pittman did pretty good again. Shout out Michael Pittman.
I like Michael Pittman, man.
He's returning flex value. He's been a solid flex. He's been
he is the man in Pittman.
Oh yeah, he got the pits. Yeah,
you gotta be a man. You gotta be a man when you're playing for someone like Carson Wentz, who at any given moment is not only gonna die on a motherfucker, he's gonna kill everyone around him. Yeah, he has Reaper vibes, reality Reaper. Are you guys aware of the Fantasy Reaper? Every year there's someone that you know in a Fantasy Reaper, whoever they have, they hurt them. In reality, Carson Wentz is the Reaper, bro. Like he just always at risk for killing everyone around him, bro.
Yep. Yeah, with the Eagles, man, never knew what was gonna happen there. Yeah, just so unpredictable. Like with the
T.Y. Hilton might be coming back too.
Yeah, he could.
That means something too to help Pittman.
Right, really? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hurt Pittman. Maybe that could help him, take some attention away. Because I mean, Zach Pascal, I knew his start was a fluke, and then Paris Campbell's just so unreliable. And Jack Doyle is just struggling. And then the Titans, it's just, this deal is just kind of a rough one. They had a cat for the Titans, but it did pretty well. He had a long name. What was that dude's name? He has a long name for the Titans. I'm blanking right now. I'm trying to find it. I have to look it up. Do you know Blake offhand? The cat with the long name, was it Nikhil Westbrook something maybe?
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Bogard, the Titans, the deep guy. Yeah. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking at all the scoring leaders right now. So on page 1. He might be on page 2, actually. Nick Westbrook Ikini. I don't know if I said it right. Ikhine. Yeah, I don't know. Ikini, Westbrook Ikini will go to Ikini.
So on the
NWI, we'll call it the NWI, 453 and a touchdown. If AJ and Julio are out, shit, NWI is owned in 0% of leagues. It's a 0%. No one rosters this guy. Like
technically speaking, if you look at the Titans official depth chart, he's actually behind AJ Brown. If you look at their official depth chart,
say basically if something happens to AJ, he's the guy. Yeah, that's what happened this week when AJ went out. This dude produces. Yeah, so if you're in a deeply like Bogard is deep leagues call for deep conversations. Well, we're gonna need to have this NWI conversation. You need to go out and get him because if Julio misses time too, shit, Tannehill's got to throw to somebody. Expect Henry to catch 10 passes. I mean, I know he's seen an expanded role, but he's not going to catch 10 passes. I mean, this NWI, I'll go on my soapbox and say it. If you're in a deep league, NWI is a must-add for this week.
NWI.
Yeah, like the FBI, NWI, most wanted. We on NWI. This son of a bitch. He's a bad motherfucker. NWI.
Oh shit.
Shit. Yeah, that game was kind of. Yeah, we could probably move on.
It was a kind of.
We tried to hype it up, but it just we couldn't really get this launch too high. Yeah.
We already talked about the Falcons, Giants. So next, Las Vegas beats Miami in OT 31-28. This is a weird fucking game, dude. Weird game.
Yeah. It started off weird. I thought Derek Carr was gonna come back to earth when he threw that ugly pick. I was like, he's coming back to earth, MVP. But then he leads them back, man. Derek Carr, what has gotten into him?
I don't know, dude. I can't believe. So the overtime shit was so funny to me. 4th and 20 and Jacoby Brissett converts it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, well, they got to win now. And then they still lose. They still lose. And then at the end, Gruden wouldn't kick. He kept running. I was like, Gruden, just kick, dude. Y'all going to fumble or something. Kick the goddamn field goal in this puppy. But he kept running and running. I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, you watch him run out of time. I was like, watch him run out of time and they end in a tie. I was like, watch him fuck it up. But I'll tell you what, man, 2 overtime wins against good teams. Like, the Ravens and Dolphins, those are like legit wild card contenders. And the Raiders in that division, they'll probably be having to fight for a wild card. But at this rate, they might win the division. I don't think they will. I think they'll come back to earth at some point, but they're definitely showing that they're going to be a playoff contender. You can't luck your way into 3-0. You can luck your way into 2-0, but 3-0, that tells me they're doing something right over there.
Yeah, and even though they give up 31 to the Raiders, like that defense is something that's low-key kind of fierce. They get how many games in a row are they at with a turnover? It's like
they've been very opportunistic. Yeah, they've been doing everything right. They just seem to be the Gruden grinders. They just like they're getting things done like the old-fashioned way. They're just like getting it done like not really conventional. They have kind of a weirdly constructed roster. I remember this offseason, I blasted Gruden and a lot of others did as well, for retooling their O-line and such and bringing in all this different type personnel like Kenyon Drake. I thought was a stupid signing, but so far they've made it work. I don't know how they're doing it, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not believing it. I don't think they'll win the division, but shit, at this point, it's hard to.
Who we talking about?
It's hard. The goddamn Raiders, man. I'm a Raiders skeptic at heart, but this start has me like, damn, this is just.
I know a diamond when I see one. When I pick that up, that's a Fugazi. Forget about it.
You're right.
Forget about it.
Yeah, sorry, Joe Morley.
Listen, shout out to Joe Morley. He's awesome.
Yeah, I like Joe Morley. Just his little team, though, I don't trust them. Yeah,
like I'm saying, though, Raider fans are like, it's like another version of Cowboys fans, bro. They swear they're going to win it every year.
Every year.
I'm a realist. There's some terrible Niner fans out there that swear that too, but I'm not one of them. Like, I'm a realist. You know what I mean? I picked the Rams to win this division and go to the Super Bowl. You know
I picked the Bucks. Shit.
Hey, the Rams are the new Super Bowl favorite in Vegas.
Bro, this is why you're supposed to put money early when we say these things, bro. Because I'm just saying it was just it came out today. Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah,
put your money down. Yeah, right. As soon as they got Stafford, I know their odds was, but they still wouldn't have been the favorites at that point. Put it down then. Before they really hit their stride. Yeah.
Arizona was the favorite at one point for Vegas. You know what I mean? It switches, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying
Vegas is very latest and greatest. You can it's not easy to beat Vegas, but Vegas is far from perfect because because they know how people are. They know how people are very
they got mathematicians that graduated from Columbia. You know what I mean? Like these are the MIT.
These are some smart motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Looking at the betting line.
They know how to
exactly. Because I was looking at the lines. I was looking at my new position with NOLA.com. I have to look at the lines and all that now with betting. I'm involved with betting. And so I looked at the lines, and there was not a single game that I felt really confident about. The only one, like the Saints Giants, I was like, I'll definitely bet the Saints, being that we're returning home to the Dome, are going to be fired up. But other than that, not a single game that I felt super confident about. I was like, damn, fucking Vegas, man.
Returning home to the Dome was a real thing, though.
It really is, though. I think we're favored by 8. I think it could be like 10. I think we'll win by more than that. I think because like the Bills, for example, 17.5 over the Texans, which that's a lot. I'd probably still bet them. That's a big spread. I think they cover too. Yeah. I think they cover too.
We're gonna get we might get defensive scores.
Yeah, exactly. And Texas with the
they're gonna shellac the rookie.
Yeah, the rookie, the neck. Yeah, he's gonna get killed. Yeah,
this is the top 5. The Bills are a top 5 defense right now. Did you see how they were hitting him? The Carolina is a top 2 defense right now in most metrics, right? Yeah, they played shitty teams, but it doesn't matter. They beat up. I'm saying this to point out, like, they're gonna beat his ass.
Yeah, definitely. I think they'll cover. It's like I think the Saints spread it nearly
Brandon
as much.
Cooks right now, because Brandon Cooks is gonna be good all year, but I would sell him to improve if I could.
Yeah, I'd sell him. Yeah, because he's gonna have some. This is gonna be a Tre'Davious White's gonna shadow him. Yeah, he's probably gonna stink this.
It's gonna be a whiteout. That's what I call it. He's gonna hit him with a whiteout.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. Yeah, this is the time. This is a sell. Cooks is a very obvious sell high at this point. Like if you haven't sold him, try and do so now because within that offense, it's going to probably be a bumpy ride moving forward because nobody's truly quarterback proof. It's going to catch up to him at some point.
Oh yeah.
Last 2 games.
Yeah. I made it a mission of mine to get through all the games.
The internet's held up. The internet's held up. Good deal.
Green Bay wins on a final kick, beats San Francisco 30-20.
Next game.
Well, I won't say this, man. I'd say for all the people that says Aaron Rodgers doesn't give a shit anymore. Boy, was he
Adams is a robot.
Boy, was he fired up there at the end. He was doing this all. I was like, man, that was like all the ones that act like Rodgers don't care anymore. Like seeing, I was like, okay, like y'all shut the fuck up.
This is the team that was supposed to draft him. My team.
I know, right? Yeah, he'll always have that chip on his shoulder. Yeah, so he was fired up to beat y'all. That's for sure. He was fired up, man.
He was supposed. Listen, man. In the multiverse, this has happened, in all the multiverses, it happens except for this one we live in right now, where he gets drafted to the Niners and he has hella Super Bowls.
You right, the next Montana, California kid.
He grew up. He loved him. It was his favorite guys. Steve Young is one of his mentors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how did y'all not draft him? I mean, I'm not Alex Smith isn't terrible, but like, how did y'all not draft Rodgers?
Mooch, Steve Mariucci, fuck you.
It would have been the perfect script. Like, how did y'all not do it?
Listen, he would have been on his back for a couple years, just like Alex Smith was, because our line was bad, but we would have had Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers has it, bro.
He sat the bench for 3 years, so y'all may have struggled like the first 3 years, but by 08 or 09, y'all have been Super Bowl contenders.
Imagine, see, in the multiverse, everything happens the same way. We have that defense with fucking Williams. I mean, Willis.
Patrick Willis, Bowman, Justin Smith, Alden Smith,
all of them. Brandon Brooks, Ahmad Brooks. I mean,
yeah, that defense still scares me. They didn't say that was the defense I was saying earlier about how Drew Brees had that historic record-breaking season in 2011. Y'all fucking ended that, man. Y'all's defense fucked us. And then y'all lost to the freaking Eli Giants, and then they went on to the Patriots. That whole season was fucked up.
You know that was a rainy ass game, right? In Frisco, it's raining and pouring, and in the locker room at halftime, here's Jim Harbaugh. Everybody hit, kill everyone, raw, right? And then here's Tom Coughlin. He's like, "It's raining. When you get the ball, get down."
Yeah, that whole 2011 season was fucked up. Nothing went according to plan. The Packers were the number 1 seed. They got upset by the Giants. The Saints got upset by y'all. Then the Patriots get upset by the Giants. That whole season was back.
I want to say something because my brother-in-law, shout out to my brother-in-law because he watched that Super Bowl. I'm like, he's from Jersey, so he's a Giants fan, like real big Giants fan. And it's funny because like he's from Jersey. And then, like, when he was like an adolescent, his family moved to Connecticut. So they're also partial to the Patriots. So it's like a win-win for them. But he was literally, I was watching him cry with tears of joy while I'm just angry, right? Like, damn it, right?
Yeah, I was angry too. I was like, man, the Saints should have been here, man. Even though we didn't even make the championship, we had such a cold team. We were
I know your pain with that, with Alex Smith running it in. Remember that? And it was the catch 3.
Yeah, Vernon Davis
crying his eye. I want to tell a story. Sometimes, I mean, not sometimes. There was a time I was coming down the stairs in my house, and my girl is sobbing. She's like crying, and I'm like, "Well, what happened? What happened?" And she has the iPad out, and she's watching that last 5 minutes of that game against the Saints because it was fucking exhilarating. It was tears of joy, actually, when I watched it. So I know that it caused you pain, but there's always, for everyone team's pain, there's another fan base.
Yeah.
Pure joy.
Yeah, that's why they went through here. We went to the Super Bowl, boy. That's the agony we did to the Minnesota fan base.
I felt your pain. I lost a lot of money in that game, but I also felt your pain deeply. Because I not only had money on the Saints the next year, but that call was some bullshit. And one of my cousins is married to a Saint, and he's literally from New Orleans, straight up, right? Yeah. And he's out here in Cali, and like this motherfucker just trolls me. Like, this was at least I had someone that I could like duel with, every time we played each other. But like I got on his ass with him. I was like, that's some bullshit, because I hate the Rams too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I felt like this is conspiracy, because when you are building a new stadium for a team, you need a draw. What's a better draw? Get this young fucking on fire head coach in his second year with this bumbling idiot for a quarterback, but he was a first rounder. And now you have this, you're going to the Super Bowl. That's the biggest draw you need to get the new fans in a new stadium, because it was going to be expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was the worst. Honestly, though, I will say this, though, that Saints team was kind of sputtering down the stretch. That Saints team, I know we should have gone to the Super Bowl, but I don't know if we'd have beat New England, because man, we were sputtering, man.
But it just would have been epic, though.
Yeah, it would have Breeze versus Brady. We finally would have gotten to see it. That would have been so epic. Like, that's just, if anything, you'd have thought they'd have rigged it for that, because that would have been such an epic draw.
We saw Breeze. I mean, we saw Brady versus Goff. And
that sucked. That sucked. That was like the worst Super Bowl ever.
I remember my man's calls me, like, in the text era, even. He calls me. He's in Vegas. He's like, hey, man, who you like? I said, I like New England in the under. I said, Wade Phillips led defenses. Brady doesn't play well against them. That's how they beat Brady in Denver to go to fucking the Super Bowl. That's how they dueled with Brady, right? What Denver did with Peyton Manning, because not just because it was Peyton Manning, but it was Wade Phillips' defense. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now here's Wade Phillips with the Rams. And then I said, take the under. It happened. And now shout out to Brian Hoyer, bruh. He's my barber, because my barber looks like Brian Hoyer. But shout out to Brian Hoyer, because he played the role of Jared Goff. In the 2 weeks of practice, right? Before the Super Bowl, right? And he watched everything you could watch on Jared Goff. And then
scout team, yeah.
Yes, and check this out. He even watched Hard Knocks. And one thing he noticed was that, like, Jared Goff's understanding of defenses is very slim to none. So, like, when the clock is counting down, the play clock, you're only dedicated how many seconds for the quarterback coach communication. It's not the full clock, right? So then he noticed that he'll give them a set of plays, and then when the play clock comes down, if the defense switches anything, bro, he's fucking lost. He's just gonna go with the same play, right? And Sean McVay is a product of Shanahan, where he'll show the same look, but there's hella plays built into one look. So at least he had some outs in this every formation. But so here's Belichick. He's like, all right, we're just gonna switch the formation every time after the play. So show him this after the play clock goes down, and it's Brian Flores too, who's a G. Like, all right, boom. Then he calls it. They switch it up, and he couldn't do nothing. And that put the blueprint out on how you stop Sean McVay with Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's why Sean McVay got fed up. He was like, this fucking Goff, he is an idiot, man. He's like, I'm sick of this kid. He don't know anything. I need a veteran that knows his shit, and and look at him now. They were in like Mexico or Puerto Rico or some shit when they announced it. Like, they were even like, let's go party, bro. Oh, I bet. Yeah, it's free. I'm free. There was somewhere free of fucking Goff. Yep. Yep, man. It's just crazy, because it's scary to think how good they might be, because they've got the defense too with Donald and Ramsey. I mean, shit. Hold on. And Darius Williams, bro, opposite of Ramsey. Darius Williams is the number one corner on every other team. Yeah, but he's the number two over there. It's fucking nuts, bro. Yeah, they lost Cam Akers for the year, and yet they're still doing this. Like, it's amazing. And they were without Henderson against the Bucs. Isn't this what Stafford used to anyway? Okay, I want to say something. Stafford is used to this. He's never had a running back for real in Detroit. Right.
Yeah,
right.
what Theo Riddick? That was awesome, actually, in PPR. He's like
Yeah.
second. He's second.
Yeah, Theo Riddick, fucking Javid
Danny
Best,
Woodhead.
Amir Abdullah,
Yeah,
just
no, I'm just saying, as far as
crap.
PPR goats go, right?
Oh,
Right?
yeah, Theo
Yeah, I
Riddick,
love
Danny
Theo Riddick. He's
Woodhead,
like
James
second,
White, yeah,
So now check this, Gio. But now check this out though.
yeah, Burkhead.
Burkhead even. Burkhead did it all though. He even goal line shit. So he's different. He was a Swiss Army, right? But just damn, this is a real high moment. Who were we just talking about? Because I always tangent off. Because I was making
The Lions and Stafford.
Oh yeah, so Stafford.
No having no running back.
Oh, this is good right here. This is good. He's used to this. And you know who else is used to this? Calling the plays, Sean McVay, because he had Cousins where you couldn't tell me one running back in Washington when Cousins was there. What, Rob Kelly? There's no relevant Chris Thompson. Listen.
Oh yeah, that was a PPR darling, Chris Thompson.
Exactly. Man. It was all about throwing the rock though, because Kirk Cousins was a 4,900-yard passer for real for 3 years straight. You know what I mean? Now he has Stafford, bro, with Cooper Kupp and fucking Woods,
Higbee, Van Jefferson, Deshaun Jackson.
Bruh. And guess who had Deshaun Jackson in Washington? That's why it was just like a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of intangibles I love here. Like Deshaun Jackson being from LA and coming back home. Like the fact that they're playing the Super Bowl in their dome, where in the locker room, that's part of the speeches. Like, listen, we want to get here. You know, Tom Brady actually did it for the first time and let the world know that. Because before that, if you host the Super Bowl,
like, oh, you're ineligible. Yeah, you're ineligible.
It's a curse.
Yeah, it's like,
my Niners hosted it. We were cursed that year.
Right, yeah, it was a thing. Yeah, that was like a theory on the radio. They talk about you're ineligible. Yep.
You know me, I carefully document everything. You know what I mean? this motherfucker, right? Sean McVay, it might be a perfect storm here. That's destiny. This might be destiny.
It's possible. It's very possible. I wouldn't bet against them. I don't know what they'll do, but I wouldn't bet against them. That's for sure. If I had to bet on, if you put a gun to my head and said you have to bet on somebody, I'd bet on the Rams.
They just need to be healthy.
Yep.
Last game of week 3, and this falls back to plague teams. You know.
Hey, real quick callback for pre-show talk. It's like, you know, we were discussing whether we should do the thing because it'd be 2 hours. I was like, you know, we're 3-hour motherfuckers, bro. We're going live.
Yeah, I'm glad we pivoted, man. I knew we weren't going to keep it under 2 hours.
All right, last game.
Plague teams, fan bases that just experience heartbreak. There's one team in the NFL that has probably experienced this more than anyone. And once again, they faced it this week. Justin Tucker kicks an NFL record 66-yard field goal to beat the Lions. And 19.
Hey, did y'all see the play clock shit?
Yeah,
it's probably a network issue.
I actually think so.
I love it though that it exists because that's a curse team.
It turns the 66-yard field goal into a 71, I believe.
Yes.
So it's just it was funny too because like the commentators in the game, I forgot who was commentating the game, but they're counting the play clock down. They're like 4, 3, 2, and then it hits 1 and 0, and they're just dead silent. And then the snap goes like 2 seconds later
because they work for the network, so on their screen, on their little monitors, they're seeing that clock.
Yep, this
is funny though because. Like, listen, I have so my whole family's Niners, right? And I had these 2 older cousins. They're like 9 and 10 years older than me. They're brothers, and we used to play the Sega Genesis version of Madden, like the early Madden, bro. And obviously people can't be both the Niners, but also we all love the Niners, so no one could be the Niners. Mind you, I was probably like 7 years old, and these motherfuckers like 15 and 16, like I said, right? So they picked alternative teams. So my cousin Junebug, he would pick the Eagles. And my cousin Lawrence, you know what I'm saying, he would pick the Lions, but they grew to be fans of these teams now, like legit, like even over the Niners. You know what I mean? Like because of this game. And like my cousin was always so sour about the Lions, like, man, like, because they just this cursed, bro. You know what I mean? Like Megatron, bro. Like they had like
Barry
Dominic
Sanders
and Sue and all the. Then they had a defense, bro. They had Jim Schwartz there for the deep. Was it Jim Schwartz? No.
He was their head
Caldwell.
coach.
They had Jim Caldwell. It was Caldwell.
Yeah, they had him for a little while. Yeah,
and like if it wasn't against the Cowboys. In a wild card,
man, they got cheated against them.
Yeah,
man.
it was a
bullshit.
fucking first of all, there was a clear. The game's on the line. They're marching down the field. They get into the red zone, and it's like a reception, like that goes down to like the 2-yard line. But there's a fucking. I mean, it's not a reception. It was a incompletion, but it was a clear PI. It was a clear DPI. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the referee right there on the sideline, right in front of him, he threw the flag. And he looks around, he picks up the flag.
And picks it up.
It's
even worse than the Saints. Like the Saints, they didn't even throw the flag with them. And this was they threw it and they picked
the
it up.
mafia, bro, the Russian mob, bro.
That's even worse.
Listen, this is why I love Stafford too with the Rams, and it pains me to say it, but then it's fine because my Niners are a year away again. You know what I mean? This is not the year. So I'm fine with saying it because I caught it. You know, it's easy to diagnose this because I love the intangibles. I'm that guy. As long as Stafford stays healthy, they're gonna go. Because I love the intangibles. Like, look at his wife, bro, was so unhappy in Detroit, and then she has brain cancer, and like she was so happy to get the fuck out of Detroit on top of everything, bro. Happy wife, happy life. Like, there's all these things, and I think she's successfully fighting it right now too. Like,
I was gonna say, damn, I didn't realize his wife had cancer. Wow,
she had brain cancer, bro.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's been fighting it for the last couple of years. Like, and then you add the fact on he's just like he loved the city of Detroit, bro.
Yeah,
like,
he gave a heartfelt message in his.
He kind of represented what Detroit is, a town that's beat down. You know what I mean? And just fighting, like just wounded as fuck.
Yeah, he was like he had to go. It was like he couldn't take it anymore. He was like he had to get out of there. It was like he would have had to retire.
They did him a solid for the first time.
Yeah, they finally drive by a
Barry
player.
Sanders a solid. They didn't do Calvin Johnson a solid, and these guys are the faces of the franchise. Or not the faces, but the Mount Rushmore of the franchise.
Right, exactly.
And Matthew Stafford's on there too, and they did him a solid.
Finally, yeah. Like about time y'all woke the fuck up.
They got a lot of picks too, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Because Sean McVay's like, fuck this, we win it now, bruh.
Yeah, this is our window. He's like, a window don't open. This is the NFL. That window don't open.
We're the Hollywood.
We got to take
Rams.
Advantage of this shit. Yeah, exactly.
They said we're the Hollywood Rams. It's like, listen, we'll pay a luxury tax. We got the stadium. We got the whole Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, I got a fun fact for y'all about the Justin Tucker thing with the field goal and all that. The Justin Tucker's record field goal was the same day as way back in the day, Tom Dempsey's record field goal for my New Orleans Saints was 63 yards against guess who? The Detroit fucking Lions.
Yep.
That's a fun fact.
It's unbelievable because back then, like the Saints are a new team. Like people at the Saints were the cursed team, and like that was kind of like we got to pass that curse on to the Lions, beat them on a 63-yard field goal. Because back then that was unheard of. The kick it, people couldn't even kick 50-yarders back then, much less 63. And this motherfucker does it with half a foot.
The old sawed-off cleat.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, if you got half a foot, right? Hold on. Here's the thing. If you got half a foot, that's a strong foot because it's been compensated all his life. He's like, listen, I'll kick a tire right off the joint.
I could have kicked it 73 yards. Fuck it.
Fuck slash.
I got half a foot. I'm better than a whole foot.
He has a it's like a one-eyed sniper. He doesn't even have to aim. He's just always aiming.
Right? It's just something that he did against the the fucking
Yes,
Lions in like 1970. Because like before then, I don't think the Lions were considered like the cursed team, but ever since then, they've been the cursed team. They have been cursed to the bone.
You know what?
Because I think the Lions back in the old days, kind of like the old Browns, where the Browns were like insanely good back in the old days. I don't think the Lions were ever
The Jim Brown
good.
era.
Yeah, Otto
even
Graham.
before that, Otto Graham.
Yeah, I'll say the Lions had Bobby
ironically,
Lane. Bobby Lane was a great quarterback for the old Lions.
Hey, fun fact, right? So Belichick, his favorite team growing up is the Browns, right?
Yeah, he coached over there.
That was his favorite. That was his favorite coach. That was his favorite quarterback, and he kind of did his own version of that. Isn't that amazing? Like, because even when we said earlier with the callback to the Tom Brady story as a kid in the end zone, see the catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like that's some destiny right there. You know what I mean? Two motherfuckers come together, and this is their version of Otto Graham and then whatever head coach it was.
Yeah, Paul Brown. It was Paul
Brown.
Brown. Yep, that was the legend. He was the owner and then started the Bengals as well.
Like he just those are his, and then ironically the Browns were good in the 90s too because of Belichick. And then when the franchise closes down and moves, becomes the Ravens. Yeah. Right. They take everybody. They take Ozzie Newsome. They took everyone except for Belichick. You know what I mean? They took his whole shit too. His whole way of drafting, his whole way of everything. Yeah. They all learned together. Like,
yeah, and it's funny. The Ravens are the team. A lot of times they give the Patriots trouble in the playoffs.
Exactly.
The Steelers, I mean, that's a rub it in. Like, but the Steelers couldn't get past New England, but the Ravens were the ones that could a lot of times.
Here's the thing: when they became the Ravens, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is when Bill Parcells was with the Patriots. So he brought over his mans. You know what I'm saying? He brought over Belichick because they won a Super Bowl together with the Giants. You feel me? So it's like, well, bring my mans through. I mean, they screwed him over there with the fucking Browns. You know what I mean? And listen, they would have had Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? But the Ravens, they had the same form of fucking of scouting, bro, and breaking down and evaluating players because they learned from Belichick, bro. Stole his whole shit. Look at you know what Ozzie Newsome's last hurrah was before he retired as from being the GM for the Ravens. He drafted him Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's like, boom, this is what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people thought when the Saints traded up that year that it was for Lamar Jackson. But it wasn't. And the Ravens
Joe Flacco, would you say he's amazing? No. But they drafted him and he got them the Super Bowl. You know what's funny too? They drafted Tyrod Taylor there too. They were like, maybe because they seen where the game was going with the read option and stuff like that.
Yeah, they signed like RG3 and stuff. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying this was like 2012, like because Tyrod Taylor was the rookie.
They thought way ahead then, because in that point,
look what was going on. See, look at they drafted him because look what was already going on.
The Kaepernick,
the Kaepernicks, and all that. They all came in.
It gotten going. Yeah. Yep.
He actually played the role of Kaepernick in the Super Bowl preparation against us. Fuck Tyrod Taylor, matter of fact.
Yeah, he was the scout team where like Hoyer played the role of Jared.
Bring it up.
Yeah, that's a good for a Super Bowl. Yeah, good have a good scout team, guys. Well, I guess back in 2009, Mark Brunell played a good Peyton Manning. He was our backup in that year behind Drew Brees. Brunell probably said a lot of Omahas that couple weeks. Yeah, he's probably like, "Fuck, man, this is complicated having to play this motherfucker."
He did a lot of these and shit.
Yeah, Peyton man constantly audible and like, holy shit.
Omaha. He's awesome. You know why his head's so big? Because he had one of them. He had one of them early age terabytes in his dome. Listen, the big old terabytes is like a big block. Nowadays it'd be like a little slim thing, you know what I mean? Like double terabytes even, you know what I mean? But he needed, because that's how he sustains all that information, bro.
Oh yeah. It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It gets older, it gets more and more.
See, it's actually an optical illusion because as older as he gets, the hairline goes back further, so it makes it look like his already 7 head is up to like 11 head now. You know what I mean? It's not even 4 head. It's like it went from 7. You remember his helmet? That shit was funny because damn, it's like you can't hide a big helmet. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, this guy's hella big. Look at his helmet.
That motherfucker
Because he
got
had the
a
double
big,
terabyte.
big head. Yeah, big head. Yeah.
He had the
Yeah.
early 2000. He had the 1998 version of the terabyte. You know what I'm saying? The double terabyte. It was like as big as like it was as big as like a tower. Like the
You're right.
towers.
Yeah. Speaking of that kind of shit, like I know it's a completely weird tangent, but horse racing, the greatest horse to ever do a secretariat when it died is that he had a big heart. It had a way bigger heart than any other horse.
Oh, was
And
it way enlarged heart?
Yeah, big ass heart. Yeah, because he died young for a horse. It's like, man, his horse he died young, but he was a big heart. Yep.
Man, this is where we venture off into our life lessons moment. For anyone out there that suffers from an addiction to cocaine, you should not use cocaine or methamphetamines either, for that matter, because you will have an irregularly enlarged heart young, and that can cause death early. This was a life lessons message from Bogard Scott Free. Right, because for the heart, for the horses too, they're juicing them up with all kind of shit. Right, their hearts are just they're racing.
Right. Yeah, all the
they're
steroids,
overgrown and they die early. And that's what drugs will do. That's what drugs will do, kids.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
It's the Secretariat's law. That's what I'll call it.
So next up, week 4 upsets. So to run through week 4. Cincinnati and Jacksonville. Cincinnati's favored. Washington football team, Atlanta Falcons. Washington football team's favored. Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are favored. Tennessee Titans, Jets. Titans are favored, obviously.
Okay. Right out the gate, I'm just calling it the Lions.
Lions,
they're gonna upset it.
Yeah,
The Lions. Listen, Dan Campbell, they're buying kneecaps off. Dan Campbell, I remember week 1, he was flashing on his team.
Bears are favored by 3. That's the spread.
I'd probably bet the Lions because they know they're gonna be going after Justin Fields.
Hold on.
And that Lions in
Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Chicago's at home. That's why, and it's divisional, and Chicago's looking sketchy. So that's why they're giving them the 3 points. Yeah. That's like the respect for Vegas. This is a game that this is
Detroit all the way, right?
Yeah,
that's the one that stood out to me the most.
I mean, because Detroit. Look, they stuck it to Green Bay for a whole entire half. They went into a half leading that game, and then they limited the fuck out of one of the best runningest teams, Baltimore, to like less than 15 rushes or less than 5 rushes with their running backs, and then they're daring Lamar Jackson to run. Like, there's been modified game plans for every game, every team they've played. This is like low-key a well-coached team, and they just don't have the knock out the park personnel yet, but they're giving everybody fits. And right now, I think like that offensive line for the Bears, like you could like see, here's the problem though too, is that the Lions don't really have pass rush. So that's the problem, because that's how you destroy them. Clearly, you just get Justin Fields off his mark, you hit him, you kill him. You know what I mean? That's what we've seen so far. So that's what I'm going with.
Now, one that I do want to bring up, because this is interesting. This is only a 1 point. 1 point. Denver is actually favored over Baltimore.
Yeah, I saw that. I was surprised. I was thinking that. Well, okay, I know they're 3-0, but I'd probably bet Baltimore.
Denver?
Fugazi.
Talking about Denver?
Because this is Vic Fangio, and this is Pat Shurmur as the OC. This is the same OC that's got into the playoffs before with Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings when they had Adrian Peterson, and they had and then you had the likes of Mike Zimmer with a defense, the legit defense, right? So now that we have the same formula here, right, with Teddy B, you know what I'm saying, and a Ravens team that's falling apart. Where's this game at? This game is in Denver?
Yeah, it's in Denver.
Yeah, that's probably why they're favored. Yeah, Vegas tends to go with the home team if it's close.
And exactly, because so that's a big tell. But here's another thing. The trickiest thing is why I'm asking it to Fugazi, because look who they played. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they played shit teams. It was the Jets, the Texans, and I don't remember. Did they? Let me have my little schedule.
Peep that out one time, because I know they play. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let me see. I have the schedule.
I know they played all the teams. Are they Fugazi?
They played the where are they in this thing? Oh, here we are. The Giants, Jags, and Jets. Yeah, all garbage teams, all winless teams for that matter. So I think they are a bit fugazi. That's why I bet Baltimore.
I like it. It's a good one. I think Baltimore definitely covers regardless. But this is, what's going to be awesome about this game? Is that like they're both wounded equally. First of all, the defense for Denver, phenomenal right now.
Yeah, their defense been phenomenal. Them and Carolina have been
outside of. I think we're going to see a bit of defense same way they tried the game plan for Hawkinson, because I think the game plan right now is for Noah Fant, because he's arguably the best option they have healthy outside of Cortland Sutton. But then you have sneaky Tim Patrick, right? But this is what Teddy B's working with, and they're running like hell. And you can run on Baltimore, and they have a glaring wound. Their secondary option. Whoever Marlon Humphreys is not on, that's where everyone's attacking. You look week one.
Marcus Peters is hurt.
Yeah, but you look week one, who ate fucking Brian Edwards, Henry Ruggs late in the game. These secondary options, Hunter Renfro, right? And then week two, Brian Pringle scores a touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson scores a touchdown. You know what I mean? Then you hear they're moving the ball, no problem. With the Quinton Cephas's and whoever the fuck was, right? Like, it was like there's this glaring hole there. You know what I mean? So, and Teddy B can deal. He's Teddy Roosevelt, bro.
Yeah. Teddy two gloves.
Yeah. But I you know what? I almost made it. I definitely got a shake. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. Hey, wait, real quick. Tell the people who's your week 4 fantasy sleeper. Real quick.
Okay.
And then also tell everyone where they can find you after that.
Oh, there's a few here. You know what? My man, the string bean, Robbie Anderson.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. A lot of people are selling on him. He could,
listen, on a short week, and the game plan is to run like hell on Houston. CMC goes down. You know what I mean? And then you have my man, Sam Darnold just outright not seeing him wide open and just going to DJ Moore. And now DJ Moore is going to be he's a top 5 receiver right now. You know what I'm saying? So this team's they're gonna have Stephon Diggs, little bruh is gonna be on him. They might even give him some double coverage, some double bracket love. Some bracket love, some double coverage. You know what I mean? And then here's going to be Robbie Anderson, who's already torched this team before with Sam Darnold. And I love bringing up a little history, but I'm just saying he's going unaccounted for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But hey, Bogard, before you get out of here, tell everyone where they can find you at.
You can find me at the GMM Network. You can subscribe, and you can check us out every day on my channel and Hustle's channel on Fantasy News Today. And it's kind of tight because my girl, she was off for 6 months, and within that time we had the baby, and now she's back to work, and I work remotely, so it's kind of dope. Like, be with the kids, and this has kind of been my life with all my kids, right? So I've been doing a show with the baby, and it's tight because we're 2 for 2, right? And I'm doing so it sucks. Cause I do the show with my phone. Oh, you know what? I'm about to just bring my computer up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I've been doing it on the phone. And I'm just holding the baby. And I swear, because it's during her nap time, but when we're doing the show, she falls asleep. I put her down and in the crib, right? To continue to do the show. And then the little man, that's also his nap time. And I was 2 for 2 days in a row. It's kind of tight. So if this is the routine, it's going to be hilarious. That's where you can see the other side of Bogard. I'm never off. With this fantasy shit. Putting the kids to sleep, we're feeding the kids, we're doing everything for the crib, getting money. We stay still, money comes to us. We do it all.
Right on.
Hey, appreciate you coming on, man.
The earth is my turf. Galaxy, universe, give me money. May the fantasy gods rain light and shine light upon a path to victory to everybody. I see y'all on the warfield.
Take it easy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, give me the boot.
Oh, it's Bogard Scott free. Big shout out.
God, fucking talk about legends.
Yeah.
Guru, who's a week 4 fantasy sleeper for you?
Oh man, this is so tough, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I've been thinking about it, and it's been hard for me to come up with somebody. Man, this is just kind of a tough week. There's no real obvious one, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with. God, man, I gotta get off the pot here. Man, I gotta pick. Shit, man, I gotta. Oh, bro, I'm trying to find somebody that I think could really pop. That's like getting slept on. Man, I'm looking here. I'm gonna go with somebody once I can really get the zero. And I'm trying to, God damn. All right. I think I got it now. I think I got it. This is a name that's been kind of going under the radar. And he's a guy that he's going to get his revenge game. I know he's a guy that a lot of people normally start, but I think he'll do pretty well this week. It'll be a revenge game for him. Corey Davis, he's somebody that, he's done okay for it, but the Jets offense is an offense that a lot of people are scared of. A lot of people like, screw them, they're terrible. And he had a good week 1. The next couple of weeks weren't too great, but this week he gets his revenge game against Tennessee, the team that let him walk in free agency. So I'm thinking he'll have an extra chip on his shoulder, be extra motivated to eat well in this one, in a game that, Zach Wilson's got to be better. He's got nowhere to go but up in Tennessee. Is not a good defense. So, yeah, I'm thinking Corey Davis, not a super deep. And out for deep sleeper, I'll go with the old boy, NIW.
NIW!
Was that right? NWI. I'm sorry. I butchered it. NWI. Nick Westbrook Ikini. I don't know. Heineken, whatever the fuck his name is. NWI. We'll go with that. He's going to have a sneaky good week if A.J. Brown's out. So, Corey Davis, my deep sleeper, NWI.
All right. I got so my week 4 fantasy sleeper. He's a guy that he's like, I would say he's a little higher up. He's not like a massive sleeper, but I think, and I am big on Cardinals receivers this year. I got a fair fucking share of them, but I got Christian Kirk. I got Christian Kirk going off against the Rams. I think you have Julio on the outside. And you got DeAndre Hopkins on the outside, Darius Williams and Jalen Ramsey are going to be focused on them. You throw Christian Kirk in the slot, I think he'll have a big week. So I got Christian Kirk as my fantasy sleeper this week.
Yeah, I could see it. He's been really consistent. He's been the most consistent option there so far. I was all hyped up on Rondale Moore, but shit, Christian Kirk has looked super consistent so far. I could see him doing well again. I think he's a guy that he's a good waiver wire target, solid flex play potentially.
I've drafted in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I did too, and I wasn't a big fan of him. I drafted him his rookie year and last year, and I thought last year he was going to do really well. He had his moments, but he was kind of disappointed, so I stayed away from him this year. And watch, this will probably be year he breaks out. So here goes. I don't want to say I'm the guru, which I feel like I get a lot more right than I'm wrong, but there is a lot I do get wrong. I'm the guru, but I'm humble about it. I don't claim to know everything.
Hey, football is a fickle bitch.
Most definitely. Just look at the fucking betting lines. It's just every fucking game is just it's brutal, man. It is brutal because that's one thing with covering high school sports like I was for a while. It's like I enjoyed it, but man, the games a lot of times are just so predictable. Where with the pros, it's just you never know what's gonna happen on a weekly basis. You never know, but that's what makes it fun.
Exactly. Hey, before we get out of here, by the way. Speaking of betting lines, tell everyone where they can find you on social media. Tell them about Betanola.
Yeah, man, it's been a fun ride so far. I've been doing, I want to say full-time fantasy. Well, I basically am full-time fantasy now because my main hustle is with bet.nola.com, where we do content there, fantasy betting line, college football, pro football, fantasy mainly pro, but we have it all on there. Anything you'd want to bet with DFS. We're going to start having more DFS with DFS about to be legal down here in Louisiana. We're going to have all that action up on bet.nola.com. It's easy to find. And we do live shows too every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. My one that I do is on Wednesdays, the Fantasy Roundup show, where we kind of recap the last week and and go over the, kind of like we do here, just a little more condensed there, because they don't let us go 3 hours. I wish they would, but they don't. But anyway, it's still a good deal, so y'all go check that out on Betnola. And I do articles, about 3 articles a week, as well as the show. And then and then YouTube, Spencer the Guru will be relaunching the podcast here soon. Gonna be moving into an apartment where I get a studio, got a room dedicated to the studio. I can get the studio built here, and hopefully sometime October, November, we'll get the show back rolling. We're just gonna have it, do a trial run here, since we didn't really get it going, launch quite as well. And then hopefully by 22, we'll have like 1 or 2 episodes a week. But we'll get it going. We gotta start somewhere. We'll get back there. And then on social media, Twitter, Instagram, at Spencer the Guru. We there daily answering y'all's DMs and questions and making posts to get y'all right for y'all's matchups throughout the year.
Fucking A. Hell yeah, dude. Spencer, I cannot thank you enough for hopping on. What's going on, man? I appreciate you hopping in tonight. Cannot thank you for hopping on. Yeah, we'll check out your podcast. We got you. Cannot thank you for hopping on, man. You are always awesome to hang out with. Obviously, you guys can find me, Blitz Blake, anywhere. Pretty easy stuff. It's not a hard name to find. Appreciate everyone listening. Cannot thank everyone enough. Cannot thank all of my esteemed panelists enough tonight. Shout out Hustler. Shout out Bogard. Shout out Spencer the Guru. Do me a favor, everyone out there. And Dicker fucking sleazy.